Hey, welcome back to the Mikey and D Experience. Tonight we have three of us. We've got me, Mikey. Dalton is back. Dalton is back.
I have returned.
Dalton is back, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't been here in
many moons.
Many moons. But we also have John back again. John, say hi.
Hey, and I just want to say before we get into this, I just want to say the views of anyone on this podcast are not the views of anyone else on this podcast. The views are that person alone, just in case it gets into certain territories.
I'm guessing you can tell who the left and the right is.
Just nice little disclaimer. So we kind of teased this.
We have a special drink to commemorate this
what is it?
momentous podcast.
What are you drinking? This? Oh, God. What is it?
John with the flea flicker.
Oh,
with the flea flicker.
Look at this. This came out of nowhere.
What? It is a Michelada, the greatest drink ever for the summer.
Is it? I mean, I feel like you're really hyping this up, and
Taste it.
It may
it's
not.
So good.
Hey, Bush.
Don't steal.
But it's definitely.
Don't steal anyone else's content. Don't steal anyone else's taglines.
It tastes like a Bloody Mary.
It does.
Hold on, seriously. What?
Tomato. There's a giant tomato in the can.
Beer with natural flavors and artificial color.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can read.
It's real good.
Thanks, man. I worked a long time to build. So, anyways, we have Dalton, who is back from whatever the fuck he was doing before. We have John, who is one of my best guests, actually the best guest of all time I've ever had.
Yeah, that's right.
So now, I think Dalton and John are colliding tonight. It's going to be a match for the ages. Oh my God, I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait. What do you guys, do you guys need to do the weigh-in? Do you need to do the staring each other down? What are we going to do here?
Honestly, I think I love the weigh-in. Standing at 6'7", 310 pounds of lean, mean muscle machine. We have John. Then we have me. By the way, backup quarterback for flag football.
5'8".
5'9.5". I don't know where you're getting your readings from. Where's your tape measure? We gotta get your Walmart tape measure out of the way, dude.
Oh my God, this is going to be such a good podcast. I hope you all enjoy it. So actually, we're gonna tease that, but we're gonna start off
sex robots.
So,
by the way, $1,000 off, boys and girls.
$1,000 off on RealDolls.com. Shout out to RealDolls.com.
They're not a sponsor,
but
they were.
Shout out. But so
just a demo.
I was talking to Dalton about relationships and everything earlier, and I said, you don't really need a girl. There is something out there called Real Dolls, and he didn't know about them. Most of us older people may have watched Real Sex on HBO when we were younger. Maybe had the blurry lines. Couldn't really see it, but we kind of knew what was going on.
Back in the 1980s, late
1980s. It was late 90s, 99, 2000.
I could have been a blowjob at that point. You know what? You realize that? I could have been a blowjob.
This is
why. You know what? Here I am. I sprouted.
This is why Dalton has not joined us lately, because this is not family friendly. But anyways, so we're talking about Real Dolls, and if some of you don't know, Real Dolls are basically they look like a real woman. They have real woman features. Apparently, they feel like a real woman. I'm not sure. I've never touched one, and John's totally out of the loop on this.
I have no idea what they're talking about, and I have no idea. But you know what? Whatever anyone wants to do at their home, I don't care. Go do it. Have a great day.
He's being too nice, folks. You gotta get one, especially men. They could cook sandwiches. I heard.
Yeah, and I've heard that Japan has some that are like really like they'll talk to you.
Look at that.
Look at these. What
is that? Rachel? That's Rachel 2.0.
No, that's Willow. This is Willow.
Willow's the keeper.
So Willow's got all of the. She's got all
She's
the.
She's really good, flexible.
She's got all of the features of a real woman.
She's all greased up and ready to roll.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? If that's your thing, I'm all for it. Go ahead. Have a field day. Go to town.
Tackle it. Tackle it.
Enjoy.
By the way, it's not
Enjoy. This is a free country.
It's not Willow. We have Rebecca 2.0, Ashley 2.0 and then we got Rebecca 2.1. 2.1 Rebecca.
I wonder what the 0.1 is. What's different from the 0.1 and the 0.0? What is the God? Okay, this is horrible.
So
I'm not a Bloody Mary fan.
Oh man, that's a michelada. It is a delicacy in Mexico.
Tomato juice makes me puke.
Okay.
So I took one sip and I said, no, this is not.
Oh, they're the greatest thing on a really hot day like we have today.
Oh God, no! I can't.
I just want to commemorate this special experience that we're having today.
I cannot do this. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the gesture.
Wait. Do we have Mikey wimping out right now?
No, I'm not wimping out. I just don't fucking like the taste.
He's just a little bitch. That's all.
What?
Words from Big John over there.
Is this everyone just rip? It's supposed to be you two against each other, not me. So, anyways,
from Boneless over there, we got some comments coming in.
So John's. I'm gonna back up. John's nickname is Boneless because we all play softball together, and every single softball game he wears a Buffalo Wild Wings shirt. Right. So his new nickname is Bone. We thought of like 5 different names. Boneless stuck, so his nickname is Boneless, even though he prefers traditional wings.
I did create that nickname. However, I am proud.
I just want to say the reason why I have that shirt is because our softball team, back when I was in Michigan, we were sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings, so they gave us the free shirts, and on top of that, they gave us discount on all food after the games, as long as we wore a shirt.
What kind of a discount? Oh man, what kind of discount did you get?
It wasn't big. It was like you get. I think it was like 20 wings for the price of 10.
That's a hell of a deal.
But that's all you get. You get an extra 10 wings, and that's it.
It's still a hell of a deal.
But, oh my God, can you imagine getting 30 wings and having 40 come to you?
Yeah.
With a smile on their face, be like, you got this. And I'm just like, yes.
It was great. Yeah. So
we fighting for us.
Yeah, we didn't get a discount on beer. So if you want the softball team that we all play on to get sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings, you just got to contact them, talk to a manager, and they sponsor a lot of teams around the country, and they provide shirts and they give discounts for the
why don't we do that?
Bush
we should do that.
I tweeted them already. Bush does it.
But a lot of businesses around there do that. You just have to ask you have to ask the right bar who wants to sponsor, because that's free advertising for them.
How much does it cost for them? So like, how much? What's it cost for them to sponsor you? What do you have to? I mean, do you do nothing? You just say, "Hey,
they didn't pay our fees." So some businesses pay like the registration fees and everything.
Right.
But in Buffalo Wild Wings' case, they did not pay for that, but they did give us the shirts and they gave us the discount.
Okay.
Which the discount's huge, especially if you go there every Thursday.
Hell yeah.
But if you talk to the right businesses wherever you are, like there will be places that will be happy to sponsor you and give your whole team discounts, things like that. You just have to talk to the right one.
We're so fucking lazy. Our softball team is so lazy.
Well, because our softball team is weak. We're like, it's just not. It's not a good team. I mean, if you've been a part of a good team that actually tries, dedicated.
It's not.
There's a Hall of Fame for slow pitch softball.
Don't throw anyone on the team under the bus.
There's an HOF, baby. An HOF. Your name could be hang in the rafters.
Don't throw anyone on.
There's just not enough organization is the main issue.
People
are not put in the best positions to succeed. They're put in the best positions that they're happy to play.
Like we have,
and that is pitching, in a team that's going to be a problem.
You have Mark pitching, which is a good
Stop
reserve,
it.
but then you have Dalton come up, shoulder sore, from yanking it out to those videos to Rebecca 2.0. And I'm just like, what am I going to do today? And I go up there, throw a curveball, a little knuckle. My fastballs, I had like 3 or 4 strikeouts, Johnny boy.
Yeah, I heard.
But at least on good co-ed teams I've played on in the past, you have to strategically place your women so that they can be successful in the position that they're at. So, for example, if you have 5 women in the field, you should put 1 at pitcher, 1 at catcher. So that's 2 out of the way. 1 in probably deep right field.
Well, usually you can't do the pitcher and catching, but you are correct.
Well, it depends on the league. So in our league, we can.
Yeah.
We can do it, and we don't utilize that.
So that takes 2 of your females out of the game. And what we do, unfortunately, and this is not against any of the women on our team, I don't want to say, but when you have certain women not being able to play the position that they have, it's a liability.
Don't talk about Michael that way. Mikey is very good, by the way, folks.
I'm the best first baseman on the team.
Don't you take that the wrong way. No, if you're going to play a legit co-ed team, you need 2 boys in the middle. you need a man in center field, and then you need one, most likely I would say right field to left. I mean, you got to split it up pretty evenly where the hitters hit. The girls, unless you have solid girls. I mean, we have Michael at first base, and he sucks. He is up for grabs, folks.
I do not suck.
I don't want to say all women aren't good enough to play certain positions, but some women don't have the skills to make the throw
I feel like this
from
is
third to
fairly...
first. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Is that or to make a play in the outfield?
I feel like you're being fairly masochistic right now.
Some of the women we have on the team are great. Tina is excellent.
Some of them are better than some of the guys.
Absolutely, some of the women are way better than the guys. But I'm just saying but all women and all guys. I should not be playing a deep left field by my own because I don't have the speed.
Yeah, but you've got the glove though. You've got the glove.
But I don't have the speed. Ideally, you would have someone with more speed out in the outfield.
If Dalton would show up occasionally, he could play that position.
I don't get picked, folks. I just don't get picked. I'm sorry.
No, you get picked. You just never show up to our games. Anyways,
so I don't want to make it a female-male thing, but
it is. John saying girls suck, boys rule.
John, I thought you were total left wing. Just every girl is as good as a guy. I mean, you could. Every woman can do. Every woman can do everything a man can do. What is wrong? What's going on right now?
Oh man. Well,
he's just a good guy to say.
Man, now we're gonna get into some really dark.
All right. Let's switch gears here.
Okay, let's switch gears. Let's go.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble. So why don't we talk about the NBA playoffs?
Yeah.
What are we thinking about the Suns taking them in 4?
Phoenix, it's your time to shine, baby.
Taking the Nuggets in 4.
Coming back. It's like, I wish, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I wish D Rose would have a story just like, not really a story like compared to CP3, but I wish D Rose would be somewhat in the playoffs too, where he'd come back because he was playing really good for New York.
Well,
Randall choked.
The first round, he was carrying the team in the first round.
Couple games.
Randall was dog shit that first round.
No,
and I was like, what the? So I mean,
was it a fluke? You think it was like Peyton in the regular season?
It might have been, but he's also still kind of developing his game, so I'm not sure. He's never been. Until he went to the Knicks, he was never like the star of the team.
Who?
Randall.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. That's very true. He got a lot of spotlight on him. He got a lot of spotlight this year, and I think it might just been like a season thing because it's a different mindset. It's like, it's win or go home. Don't get me wrong, it's not like, football compared to basketball, which, by the way, I think Andrew Bynum, remember that turd that played for the Lakers? That only had like 2 rebounds. Yeah, we all remember against the Celtics. But anyways, so he came up and said that it's harder to win NBA Finals than it is to win a Super Bowl than NFL. Now, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, you're playing 7 games, so I mean every team can have an off game. I believe that 100% because every team.
Wait, you believe that NBA?
I believe the NBA is hard because you're playing 7 games, at the max. So you're going to see every team. You're going to see the team in 7 games. If it goes to 7, you're going to see them at least 4 games, and you're going to see the team at their best, at their worst. Super Bowl, you could just have a shit game,
and you lose. And
anyone could win. So I that's what I think. What do you think, John?
I don't know if I agree.
I don't know. Whatever.
Great insights by John, by the way. So
I don't know if I agree with that because NBA you get a lot of chances to come up. Like you might have, like you said, an off game, but yet NFL like playoffs, you could be the better team and come out and just like what was said on ESPN, you come out and have a better game than the actual better team. And you beat that better team because that better team, might have a player that's a little sore, a little tired.
I guess what's the goal? Is the goal to have an exciting experience that's very watchable, or is the goal to have the best team win? And I think those are just 2 different objectives.
I think the goal is to have an exciting experience.
Okay, the exciting experience, I think that's a one game playoff. Where anything can happen. Just like the World Cup, as in...
That's what I'm saying.
Where you have one game, anything can happen.
Yep.
And it was hard because you could have super teams in NBA and you can't have super teams in any other sport.
Right. Well, MLB you can because...
Well, now you can't. But by the way, Harper overpaid. Thank you. And period.
Is Trout overpaid?
Hell no. Give him another fucking couple $100 million and give me an autograph.
Mike Trout,
Yeah,
if you're
Mikey,
listening.
if you're listening to this, Dalton,
You
needs an
need
autograph
another
back.
100 million.
Harper, you're listening to this. I mean, I'll take $1,000, but also, yeah, you're definitely overpaid, buddy.
So, anyways, right now in the playoffs, we got we think Brooklyn's gonna come out of the
I
East.
think Brooklyn's a super team out of all this. I think with Kevin Garnett, he's wearing a Kevin Garnett shirt.
John's got an old school Kevin Garnett shirt on,
Timberwolves.
and he's got the cutoff sleeves. So we're all wearing tank tops.
He's over here
today.
doing bicep
Freaking
curls.
hot out here.
It is hot out in
He's
India.
saying hot. He's
It's-
taking his shirt off as he says
right
that.
right
Oh,
now.
yeah. I'm showing my nipples at Dalton
Nice.
here.
Right now it's almost 7 p.m. and it's 91 degrees outside. We've all got our tank tops on. Dalton's got the Golden Girls tank top.
That's how you do.
I've got my Nike tank top, and John's rocking the Kevin Garnett, which I love, man.
That is crazy.
How
That
long
is
how long-
awesome.
that looks like an old school. How long have you had that shirt?
Oh, I've had
Since
this
like '96.
something like that. Yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
It was early '90s.
It is badass.
That's
I'll give
awesome.
you that.
I do love that shirt.
But I think KD is the best player in the NBA.
KD is the best player in the NBA.
But Curry
So-
should have won MVP.
So the issue that I have is, I mean, Harden has to be healthy though.
who he
And
does?
he's not. So he needs time to get healthy.
Do you think that so I'm going to go ahead and say I think the Suns are going to win the West. Do you think if the Suns win the West and Brooklyn does not have Harden, that the Suns have a chance to beat Brooklyn in the finals?
100%, I think they have a chance. But do I think they'll pull through? I do not. Because you have zero people that have actually been in that moment. And then you have Kevin Durant that's been in that moment multiple times. And he knows what it takes to get his team. I mean, it's not like his team sucks. And you have Joe Harris, you have Kyrie. You have people that are, you have people that are veterans close to it that are going to come out and they know what they need to be done. I mean, Kyrie won a final on his shot. He knows what he's doing to some extent. I hate Kyrie, but he has a good way of.
He loves it. We live on a flat Earth, so you have to remember that.
Well, the other issue is, I mean, Kevin Durant's been injured in the past. Is he going to get injured again? So
That's very true.
Now, if we're down to Kyrie Irving and the rest of that Brooklyn team,
we're going Suns.
Phoenix could take him out.
Suns
Yeah.
minus 250. Suns minus
This
1,000.
is why I asked, because I placed a bet before the playoffs began for Phoenix to win the championship.
Huge
and
bet. Good bet.
nobody thought they would beat the Lakers. They beat the Lakers. They're on their way to beating.
Well, once Anthony Davis went down, I think everyone understood that LeBron, by the way, is taking the money now
LeBron.
and taking the high road.
I think nobody is a strong word. Maybe the mainstream medium.
Many thought.
But-
because everyone, I don't say everyone, nobody thought the Suns would beat the Lakers in the first round, and they fucking did.
No, I did once 80
I mean,
down.
I think most people who are following things like the Lakers were a corpse. I mean, they won the championship last year, great, but like this year, they didn't care.
I mean, LeBron
did not care. It wasn't
No,
them. It
no,
was
he
LeBron
Yeah,
did not
he's,
care.
He's more worried about Space Jam than he is
What's
about.
with
Hey,
I would
I mean-
play Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny replied, "I want nothing to do with you or this summer. You don't even pass the ball."
And that's saying I'm excited for Space Jam. I think it's
I
gonna be
am
great.
too, man.
It's gonna be free
I-
on HBO Max. It's
I
gonna be
watched
great.
the first one in theaters. It was the most amazing movie ever when I was a
Yeah.
kid. You've got Looney Tunes characters playing with Jordan.
Oh, he's
It's
gonna make
it's a
so
little
much money
different
from that.
orthodox.
He already made
I mean,
so much money.
oh, yeah, but
he's
he's gonna make even more
close
money.
to a billionaire right now.
Yeah.
Well, so LeBron may be one of the smartest. I would say one of the smartest businessmen in sports. He knows
when you're 6'8", 250, and you're like,
Well-
well, do you want a $200 million contract, or you just
It's
want to
not-
go?
it's not
you
even
wanna
about his
go
contract.
Work at not CC's. What's his pizza place?
fucking. What are you talking about?
He owns one of the. It's a good pizza place. It really is. It's
Like a national chain or what? I don't.
Budweiser.
I've never heard of that.
the
You
pizza
crack.
place.
You crack.
CC's?
You crack
You
it
don't
up.
know
pussy.
CC's?
No, I love CC's, but
Yeah.
what does LeBron own?
CC sucks, by the way.
Oh
He's a
no,
part
he
owner of,
owns Blaze.
There you go, Blaze Pizza. It's like
Blaze
a
is
Subway for
excellent.
pizza. Yeah.
There is a Blaze downtown. I've never been to it.
They have one not very far away from us.
I've walked by it.
86 in Michigan.
I've walked by it plenty of times, but I'm like, God, this sounds so good. Because you can make it's a thing where you can make your own pizza, right?
Well,
it's like Subway for pizza.
It's like Exactly.
It's like
Subway
for
pizza.
It's like how Kramer did on Seinfeld, where he's like, you need your own dough.
No.
You need your own dough.
Well, you can
pick your dough.
Yeah.
But it's a Subway for pizza.
It's a nice fast food quick pizza that's even quicker and more customizable than like Domino's or Pizza Hut or
You definitely want to get like 2 pizzas though, because one you can handle down pretty well. 2 of them, you tackle that. By the way, should we do a mukbang? Little thumbs
should
up.
we
Yeah,
actually?
thumbs down.
Let us know if you want us to do a mukbang. Dawn's all about the mukbangs. So
I think they're huge.
let us know if you want us to do a mukbang in one of our next podcasts,
Or a hot dog eating contest, or Taco Bell.
or
How many tacos?
or my Burger King burger eating challenge.
He failed, by the way.
I'm actually I have it may not be on YouTube anymore, but there was.
Is there a video of you on YouTube?
There's a YouTube video of me eating a full crave case.
Oh God!
Like 50 White Castles.
Please find that. Please find that. I want to see that so badly.
Yeah. I think that's the move we go.
You want to do a mukbang? We'll do a mukbang.
I think we do a mukbang. We need suggestions on the fast food restaurant we should tackle first.
Please do. I mean, I could do. You know what I could do? Like the square cut pizza, like from Jack's or Giacomo's or whatever. I could totally eat. I think I could eat 4 square cut pizzas. I don't know why, but square cut pizza goes down so much easier.
I think it's a mindset for you.
It is, but it feels like square cut, the party cut, goes down so much easier. Which is the dongs will get mad at me if I don't say it's tavern cut or tavern style. But I feel like square cut pizza goes down so much faster. Like
they're smaller piece.
The typical triangle shapes.
Now, how many Taco Bell tacos, 12 box, do you think you can
I can eat 12 bucks easily.
I think I can eat 2 12 boxes.
If they're soft tacos, I'll eat 12 easily.
I think we can eat 24.
And I'll still be hungry.
Yeah, I think we can eat 24.
I'll still want a chili cheese burrito, which they don't have at many locations, by the way.
I know, that's a different choice.
John, what do you think you could... Anything that you feel like you could win an eating challenge at?
A lot of things.
He's going to say
a lot of things.
Oh, really?
You have not seen me eat.
I've seen you eat plenty of times.
Actually, he looks
not like an eating contest type thing.
John, you know what? I take you up.
All right, so
I take
this
you up.
So I did the crave case challenge.
Easy.
And it was. It's not easy.
It's 30 though, right? I think it's 30.
50.
No, it's 30.
I think it's 50. Maybe it's 30.
It's 30.
But it comes in the briefcase and
you eat
them all.
Maybe 24.
Right, yeah.
You have to look it up. But the crave case challenge, I completed that.
I've only had one time.
It was not that easy. And I also, when I was a freshman in college...
Sorry to interrupt. Crave case is 30 sliders.
Okay, so I had 30 sliders. But some had cheese, which was great. Because as you're going through all those sliders, like having ooh, this one has cheese. It is
kind of a nice little
motivation in there to get through them. But it was not easy, I will say.
I feel like I could eat...
But the bigger thing is, what I was going to get at, is that when I was in college, an Indian guy challenged me to a pizza eating contest. And
Did you lose? Did you lose to New Delhi?
Of course not.
Oh, but my boy Johnny.
So what happened was the cost we had is we had one of our friends was going to shave our head.
Oh,
that was the bad.
And he lost. He ended up throwing up, which ended up that ended the contest.
What was he at before he threw up?
What?
How many pizzas was he at before he threw up?
2.
That's weak.
I think 2. I think I was over 3.
Were they thin crust or were they thicker
Explain the
crust?
pizza. Give us some detail.
Medium.
Extra sauce.
Kind of like a hand sauce.
So what we did is we had a judge for it.
Okay.
One of our friends was a judge, and we went to an all-you-can-eat pizza place. Again, back in the day, pre-COVID, when we actually had all-you-can-eat.
CC's or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it was like a campus place where we did that, the all-you-can-eat pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And we all ate it. And then we just had the guy saying, okay, well, you had like this many slices. I think I had like 30 some slices of pizza.
Nice.
And I was fine
my
after
boy?
that.
What my boy in second
Well, I
half?
just want to say there's a key to a.
Were they square cut or were they triangle shaped?
No, it was circular.
You couldn't poop for 2 days.
No. I'm saying like the cut. Was it triangle cut?
Oh, triangle.
Or
It's triangle.
That's tough. That's tough.
What?
Yeah, it's
I thought
triangle.
square cut's much easier.
So what I did is on the way back, knowing that the guy threw up, I was eating a piece of pizza, as I was going back and like, oh, this is good.
Oh my god,
Love it.
And he went back and he got his head shaved, and then his mother came the next day, and he's Muslim. And his mother was bawling.
Not supposed to shave your head, right?
You're not supposed to.
Oh, damn. You ruined his
Now
life.
that's a damn story.
His mother
there.
probably still does not talk to him because of that challenge.
Hey. It was
a good time.
It was his decision, and he's a loser.
It was. He was an
could have
adult.
won.
Yeah.
He could have won,
You were right.
but he gave up. What's his name?
Shout him out.
I don't want to
Shout
share
it-
his name.
shout him out.
Like, he was,
Shout him out.
If
Shout
you
him
hear
out.
this, buddy, I'm with you, man. To the corner. We'll train. We will
Shout him
train.
out. Shout him out. Please do it.
But yeah, so that happened. So I won a pizza eating contest and made someone's mother cry.
When
So
did-
That's
I'm
what
just
you need
saying,
to do. That's
be
what-
careful.
hey,
be careful when you challenge me to a food eating contest.
By the way, I think I could smoke John right now.
Whoa,
It's
wait.
weak
Whoa,
now,
whoa,
but
whoa.
I have some strategies
You
that
guys
you
have
may
not-
not be aware of.
You guys have not.
you may poop twice a day, John, but I promise you,
Yeah.
his numbers will dwindle when I attack him. He's gonna be like, "What the hell is this guy doing?"
Well, I will say that my ability to eat has shrunk through the years as I
here it
Come
is.
on, buddy.
Here it is.
But
Excuses.
But still, like I can't
All right,
eat
how
like
many-
I used to eat.
All right, let's
like
give
when
the
I was in my
folks-
like early
Hold on, all right,
20s,
let me-
I could eat like
Hey,
nobody's business.
comment below who you think would win an eating contest.
and give us an
Dalton,
area. Give us something
Dalton
to eat.
or John, give us a food to eat. I'll join too. Fuck, I don't care. Give us a food. Tell us who you think would win. I mean, I don't know which one of you. Honestly, I don't know which one of you would win. It'd probably be a pretty good contest. But we'll
Mikey's already out. He's not even.
I'm-
He's like, I'm not
dude.
gonna fiddle
Hey,
around.
I ate fucking 10. Oh, I'm sorry,
Man,
I
if I
ate
was-
9 Burger King cheeseburgers.
7.
No, I ate 9.
If I was
Weak.
10 years younger, I would kill you. Like you it would be
Oh,
no
the
contest.
threats!
No, but just like the amount of food.
threats!
Okay.
But anyways, so we are going to be right back. We've got to take a bathroom break, do whatever we need to do. We'll come right back with our food. I don't know where the fuck this came from. Our food challenge, and then
Mukbang, baby.
we're gonna get deeper into the topics we're supposed to talk about. So, anyways, the topics we were going to talk about, which was going to put Dalton and John at odds with each other, we haven't done yet. But now they want to rip on me about soccer. So let's go ahead and rip me up about soccer, man. Go ahead.
There's nothing about ripping. We just want to know
Yeah.
like why you don't like soccer.
It's a good competitive sport.
it's kind
for
of-
you to, like,
for
start
me-
recognizing.
For me, it's kind of like hockey. I'll go to a hockey game and it's fun, but I mean, I can't fucking watch it on TV, man. Like I don't know.
So what is it about it?
So soccer, I guess it's like somebody that doesn't know the rules for football.
Okay.
They're like, why is it?
So I guess that's my thing.
They're like, why is it 3rd and 9? Why do they throw a flag? Why do they do? Like, I know all that stuff, but I don't know about soccer. I don't know.
okay.
I don't-
You're just like a
So-
little naked little baby.
So
Trying to
oh
understand
wait. So let me get it straight. So because you don't understand something, you don't like it?
Correct.
Oh, good preference there, Johnny.
No, stop. It's not that I'm ignorant about.
Self the nude,
no.
big little Mikey.
It's not that I'm ignorant about it. Is the reason I don't like it. It's because I don't know about it, so I'm not interested.
Well, have
in
you
it.
played?
Okay.
Have you played soccer?
I played soccer when I was like 7.
So there are some really big benefits
There
to
were no
watching a soccer game.
there were no yellow cards when I was 7.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Because they
let's-
wanted you to toughen up. rub dirt in it, you know?
I think you need to watch a big soccer game. Let's say the knockout stage of the Euros that's happening this summer. Watch it with Dalton and I at someplace like the Chatham Tap. And what we need to do at my place. We can just watch it at my place. We can have some beer.
Some shuffleboard.
We can play some shuffleboard there. We can play around all the little cats.
And we get one of our robots. Hey,
that's
there's
right.
A demo version.
Exactly.
Demo
I'm sure my wife is gonna love that as she's like 8 months pregnant.
Hey, right. It's the boys' world right there.
It's all about the boy.
We'll tell her we're just doing push-ups and
Yes.
building a wall.
Oh God. So let's watch a big game together, and let's have another discussion about all this, about the details, and then maybe we'll try to explain some of the drama and what is actually going on, because I totally understand that some of these kids, as they at least have talked about or at least talked to some younger kids, just do not understand baseball. No, so I get that with them, is if they don't understand the drama and the majesty that is real baseball. Too. I mean, I get it. If you don't understand those things, you're not going to appreciate it. You're not going to like it. But what you need, and this is what I referred to earlier in the day, is you need a Sherpa, somebody who's going to guide you.
That would be you. That would be you.
Somebody who's going to guide you up Mount Everest and show you how you should experience soccer, what you should appreciate, what you shouldn't appreciate.
Because
you're not going to get that by just watching ESPN. It's not enough.
Hey, well, look, I texted you this morning with a picture of me watching soccer, and I texted him. I sent him a picture of me watching soccer this morning, like fucking 11 a.m. I was like, I'm trying. And I don't. It's not that I'm against soccer. I just don't fucking understand it.
Yes, exactly. But you just have to learn.
Well, that's all. I totally get it.
And it's okay.
I think your best setting to actually watch soccer, and this is what hooked me in. Obviously playing FIFA, the video game, whatever. But watching the World Cup with USA in it in 2014, like. To me, that was huge because I'm competitive in nature, as of you are and as John. Yeah. It's just, when you watch them actually compete and they dog USA, obviously as they should, because, they're USA soccer compared to Euro or even close to Asian these days with soccer. It's like we don't really compete, but we are now. And it's like watching it, and it's like it creates a competitive edge, honestly, if you really watch it.
And one of the things that bothers me about sports is, I guess when I was younger, there was a lot less money in it, so it was
back in 1942.
Much more pure. Oh yeah, back in the day, it was.
we had soldiers storming Normandy, but God forsake, we haven't talked about soccer.
We walked to school uphill both ways in the snow.
Well,
through a lake. We were trenching through a lake to get to elementary.
Back when college game day was only an hour instead of like 3 hours these days.
It's like 4 hours now. Right?
Yeah, it's like a whole day.
But what I mean is that back in those days, sports there was a little bit less money in it, and now there's just so much money. It's just, I don't know, it's a little bit off-putting to me as a fan.
I feel like
whereas soccer, there's a ton of money in it, but you don't feel like it because there's not a million different commercials. There's not a ton of different stoppages to play.
But
you know that if you sit down 2 hours later, you're going to be done. Well, that is refreshing.
There's a lot of clubs.
The thing is,
soccer,
you talk about you talk about you talk about the money though. Like, I know that Ronaldo and Messi are like
Messi's contract is hidden until it was
I feel like they're two of the highest paid athletes in the world. So I mean, you can talk about money all you want, but they're two of the highest paid athletes in the world.
I guess my issue is not with how much money is in the sport, but how much money you feel in the sport. That's my issue. Is that in football, how again back in the day you used to be able to not have such frequent commercials. Now it's like how many stoppages you play when you watch an NBA game. It's like the last 1 minute of the game takes like 20 minutes.
But
it's crazy.
And now the teams where there's sponsorship on the jersey. It's not just about the sport.
That is kind of crazy.
But
it's changed a lot. That's all.
Then you see LeBron acting like as LeBron. I mean, personally, like if people are going to compare him as the GOAT, which don't get me wrong, LeBron He deserves it because
He's not the goat.
he
He's
was
not
on
the goat.
some
He's not the goat. He's not the goat.
dog poo teams that made it to the finals. But at the same time, it's like you can tell this year he gave up once Anthony Davis was out, and he gave up bad. I don't see Jordan. I don't see Kobe.
They got swept, man.
I don't see Dirk. I don't see them giving up any point, any time in their career.
Dirk's
and it's
not,
like,
Dirk's not right
I think the money this year, especially towards the end, got to LeBron because, you don't see these older, which I get it. I mean, I don't think Jordan ever got the money LeBron, I mean, obviously now he does, but back when he was playing,
Dude,
I don't think he
yeah.
was ever came close to getting paid to what LeBron is.
No.
But their demeanor, Jordan would never ever give up like that LeBron did. He was walking back at some points playing defense, walking back.
I will say that because
not even speed walking, not even like a Carroll that's 65 living in Florida.
If you watch the Last Dance, you know that Jordan, he would find a reason why he would want to beat every single team he was playing. There would be, hey, this guy didn't shake my hand before the game, or this guy talked shit about me last night. That was his motivation.
Oh,
so I totally
actually, I have a question about The Last Dance.
Yeah, go ahead.
Complete question about The Last Dance.
I watched
Do you think that was created by Michael Jordan, inferior to LeBron James's legacy?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't created that bit. It was created to put Michael Jordan in it.
I mean, he didn't publish it until
it was created to put him in a very positive light because I mean, if you know about Jordan and about what all the past 20, 30 years about Jordan's a fucking asshole, and I'll say that till the day I fucking die. Jordan's an asshole. I've never.
He also didn't take care of his body.
I've never
There's a good thing about
him.
being an asshole in sports. You want to be an asshole. Like assholes win. Assholes get shit done.
It's not even
It's a competitive
and
nature.
this is also a good lesson to us. Like, of all of us in our careers, like if we're complacent, if we're happy with where we are, that's a bad thing. We need to always be uncomfortable, pissing. We need motivation.
Kind of like the people that work at McDonald's, that I said the other night, that need that motivation to get them a better job.
Probably.
And I'm right about that. Right?
I mean, nowadays that I feel like. Here I feel like that's different, but I honestly feel like Jordan released those episodes inferior to LeBron's legacy because it came out perfect timing.
No, he wasn't a producer on it or anything, so
I really think that's one of the conspiracy things is that
that's not a conspiracy.
No, it is that Jordan released that because he wasn't going to release that until the right time, and the right time came. When LeBron obviously has been already taken over the league, but obviously Kobe retired, and then LeBron was the big dog, and it'd been a couple of years after that.
You're wrong.
But I strongly believe Jordan released that at the right timing.
Jordan didn't release anything.
COVID.
Yes, he approved that. But also, they were working on that for years before before COVID.
Do you know
it was a perfect timing of that.
Do you know what the funny thing is? So I heard that. So
that is very true.
So when they did the interviews with him, it was in Florida, but it wasn't at his house. He tried like 3 different houses, and none of them were good enough for him.
Welcome to big business of sports these days. It's all about image and making the image perfect.
But think about it. You two would do the same thing. If you have another superior playing, very well as they are. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Kobe had a lot more moves than LeBron, but we're not going to tackle that right now. But I think LeBron right now is, the king, as he portrays himself as. But as he's winning, getting close to every final he is in.
He's not that anymore.
But I think Jordan had full control of, okay, we're going to release this right now, perfect timing. Everyone's inside their house.
I really don't doubt that at all.
I think that's a bit of a conspiracy. I think that's a bit of conspiracy.
It's a business move.
That's a conspiracy theory. That is not a business move. That is
everyone's in their house, trapped in their house. They can't go out.
I don't. There's no way that that was
Think about
expedited.
it.
That was expedited by
That
ESPN.
film's been
but
10
That's
years.
that was
that's
in the
what I-
work.
that's what I think.
That was. I mean, that documentary was
That's
talked about for
that
years.
documentary took a long time to create.
They already
There's
had one
no
for
way
Kobe,
they could have
too.
just put it out magically because everyone is sitting at home. That's crap.
well, where the
But
fuck is Kobe's
They
then?
may have, but they may have pushed it out maybe a few months earlier
Just
because
because-
they knew they had
because
this.
everyone was-
But I also
Right,
think
yeah.
I honestly
Because
don't
everyone's
think
sitting at home. Like,
they would
of course.
they would never release that without Michael Jordan's consent.
Of course.
Then
course.
why do you think that came? I think that came out perfect timing.
Yes, it
because-
did.
Oh, it was great.
But
We're not arguing that it was great
No,
timing.
no. I'm just saying that they didn't like
They didn't-
orchestrate
they-
that
they
so
didn't-
that it was put out
They didn't-
magically
they
at
didn't-
that time.
Yeah,
point.
they didn't.
Like,
They didn't throw this together within 2 days.
No.
This was. This project took a long fucking
this was
time.
yeah. This was supposed to I think when I looked originally, it was supposed to be like early summer, and they pushed it out maybe to like
It was
late
early
spring
spring.
instead.
Yeah. I think it came out like in April.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, maybe I might be wrong.
Yeah, they pushed it a little bit further because also like nobody's doing shit because
Right.
everyone's stuck in their homes.
And there's nothing wrong with
yeah,
that.
no, there's nothing wrong.
But anyways,
But
so
yes, it was probably motivated. Now it was only done because of LeBron was coming on his heels. I disagree with that. But I do think it was probably motivated of why maybe they got the deal, or maybe they took a little bit less of what they were looking for, because I had read that they were shopping this around to different places for documentaries for the last 5 years.
I did see that too.
no,
So
they
they were shopping this around for a long time. They knew they
But they
had
would
this.
never release it until his authority.
Well, maybe that was a motivating factor, but they were shopping this around for many years. This was not something that they just came up with because of COVID happened and because LeBron was going to win a title this year. And maybe that was a motivating
talk of
factor
him being about the
for
GOAT.
LeBron. Maybe
Talks of him being the GOAT.
but also maybe
You're competitive. You're
but also
competitive. Would
but,
you
but
sit
also
there if I was starting to be called the GOAT of all time, and knowing you sitting there, you're like, no, I don't know if I believe that, because I am the one. NBA got so many fans. I'm the reason why NBA stuck around, because there for a little bit during Jordan's age, they were thinking about switching things up with NBA because they weren't getting enough.
No,
broadcasts.
I don't want to say that because that's.
Is that insane?
I don't know if I,
I feel
agree with that.
I feel like
but-
you're wrong because they had Bird, they had Magic,
They still weren't getting ratings.
Nah.
If you watch the documentary, they even say they state that the NBA was
The
not.
Bulls-
not
no,
big.
the Bull- no, the
they
Bulls-
weren't. They
the
weren't
Bulls
getting
weren't.
ratings
The Bulls
before,
weren't.
like the Showtime Lakers
Yep.
and the Celtics.
Yep.
That's when things dropped. Things were
and
fine
they
for a while.
dropped again until Michael Jordan.
With the Pistons.
Because
is
they
that what you're
didn't.
saying?
No,
It's
they
like
didn't.
the
Pistons, baby. Yeah, give me the dirty Pistons, baby.
Bad
But
boy-
no.
Look,
Oh,
the
the
bad boys were such a great fucking team. Bill Laimbeer is still one of my idols, and I don't know why.
But,
Oh, you
but
could-
still, also
not
in those
him,
times,
not.
like Magic Johnson was still playing. I mean, he played against Michael
No,
Jordan in
you're
his
right,
first championship.
But they were
the NBA was
not
fine.
No, the revenue was not created until it went
Well,
global.
it wasn't as high as
Michael
what it was
Jordan-
with Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan made
That's
it global.
But there's a big difference between not being as high without Michael Jordan as in being a problem. That's my issue.
Dalton has nothing to say.
I don't know. I don't know.
Bird and
Dude,
Magic,
you weren't even
can definitely make that argument.
I think
During the time of Michael Jordan, it certainly jumped up. It doesn't mean that it was a problem.
you were born the year he was playing for the White Sox. I feel like you have no authority to speak on the
But
subject.
I'm going through the Last Dance that he created.
We actually watched him
Yes,
play.
but it was also,
that
but also the Last
even
Dance was.
states that the NBA. Watch, they'll make it dramatic, but the Last Dance even states that like the NBA, the views of it were going downhill, like it is today. Even
Is it
the
really
NBA
going
is going
down today,
downhill.
though? Is it really though?
Well,
Oh,
no,
compared to 5 years ago, yes.
No,
the NBA
I don't
views are
think-
going
I don't-
down.
it
I
went
don't
downhill when they lost Michael Jordan. When they went They had Michael Jordan, then they lost Michael Jordan. It went down,
And they didn't have
and then it
anybody.
came right back.
And
Well, but you can't say
LeBron
that
went down.
like with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and then all of a sudden with the Pistons excelling, then all of a sudden with Michael Jordan, they were down in the dumps.
even-
and then
Well,
Michael
and
Jordan
then
took them
as-
no, not necessarily. But what they did do is Michael Jordan took it to a new height.
That's
and
what
then
I'm
him
saying,
leaving
revenue.
the sport.
They took it to a new height
but
of
him leaving
revenue.
the sport all of a sudden dropped things down. And yeah, those years, I know.
He made
I
it
know. And
global.
watching those, I was young back in those days of watching like the Houston Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing,
Robert Ory.
dominating those years. Yeah. It was fun to watch, but it wasn't the same as Michael Jordan because he was amazing. But then, yeah.
Remember-
him coming back was a huge, I'm sure, benefit to the
So
NBA.
in Jordan's draft, do you think Olajuwon was a better pick than Jordan because he was drafted first, then Sam Bowie, then
I don't
Jordan?
know
What do you
about
think?
Always a big guy is a safer pick. So I would always, if things are equal,
Looking back on it, Kim still wants to move on from the NBA. Sorry,
Wrap it up, boys.
sorry,
Wrap it up.
we've got a heated debate going on though. So I mean,
Yeah.
we're not gonna move on yet. But so, anyways, Olajuwon versus Jordan in that draft, and it was 85 draft.
there's no wrong answer there. There's a wrong answer in Sam Bowie, but there's not a
Well,
wrong
yes.
answer
Yes.
in
100%
Hakeem
there's a wrong
Olajuwon
answer.
or
Are
Michael Jordan.
the Trailblazers still kicking themselves in the ass for that?
Yeah, but I mean, most times in these days, you're gonna pick the big guy over the wing, just like with Greg Oden versus Kevin Durant.
Oh,
That
God.
was
I mean,
big.
that was-
Odin was supposed to be the next superstar.
That was
Injuries.
You
He
would
was
think
so-
that
he-
was you
he
would
got
think
injured
that was
so
a good
much.
call, but it wasn't. Obviously, it
You would
wasn't. Kevin
think
Durant was,
that was a
way
great
better.
call.
Yeah, at the time, you thought it was.
But
it was
I
a
don't think
no-brainer.
that- I don't think that compares to Jordan.
Speaking of draft picks, I don't mean to go down this rabbit hole. I love how the Pacers traded our 11th pick for fucking Kawhi Leonard. That was a great choice. That was a great choice, by the way. Sarcasm all day long.
The Pacers are a mediocre.
So, what do you
team.
think about Bjorkgren leaving? He got fired last week. I think it's a great choice. I think it's a great move.
I mean,
He was
it
a
was
shit-
bound to happen, but it's they still think the Pacers are still filled with superstars, but they're not. They're a 500 team, maybe, emphasize maybe at best.
No, I agree. And
I mean, you think Sabonis, I mean, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, great hype, but is he going to be a Tim Duncan? Hell no. Is he going to be a Dwight Howard in his prime? No.
it would have happened by now. But I mean, that's why I'm like, man, I can't see the Pacers anytime soon being a contender, and it pisses me the fuck off.
No.
Because Mel Simon will not, or sorry, I think Mel's dead. Herb Simon. Sorry, rest in peace.
It's all right, buddy.
The Simons will not pay over the luxury tax, and that's what kills you, man.
They don't have a superstar. I mean, you keep bringing up, Brogdon. And he's not bad. Don't get me wrong, he's not bad.
He's okay.
They need 100%. They need a superstar like, Mitchell, which they'll never get, obviously.
No.
But, the thing is with Booker, they brought CP3, an old-timer, that knows basketball the back of his hand, but yet he can assist, which drives me insane.
He had 27 points the other night.
He is acting like a 5'8" LeBron.
No, he's acting
coming
like-
through the court, but yet now he is scoring
He's
because
acting like
he
he's
understands.
25 again. That's what he's doing.
And it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And the Pacers won't be a contender for the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, and that really just aggravates me the fuck out of me because I know we've got some players that can be.
You got stars. You have
No, I wouldn't say
you have stars, but you
stars.
have no all stars.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't
You
say.
have no all.
We
stars,
have solid players. I would not say we have all stars. I mean, Domas was obviously selected to the All-Star game, but as far as really elite players, we do not have that. We will never have that because
Wiser.
Hey, how's Karis LeVert doing?
he puts up points.
He's all right.
He puts up points. I mean, he's
50-50.
He's doing fine.
I mean, if you're betting against him on FanDuel or DraftKings, I would always go the under because that turd thinks that he's going to score 23.
You've lost so much money on him.
Then oh my God, I could tell you stories. Here's the story. So Dalton, he put in a parlay, 7-leg parlay. So we're tackling that, and we win 6 of the parlays because what happened? Levert's only scores 5 points. He only needed to score 11. 11
The over-under was 11? Seriously?
Is that crazy?
That is crazy.
I don't know. When he was back at Michigan, I always liked to watch him.
Here we go.
The Wolverine.
Well, just because he's such a smooth player and he has such a unique way to get to the basket that he's crafty. He's just very crafty.
He is.
I'll see once he gets healthy for the Pacers. It'll be interesting to see what he does.
I do like him being on the team. He's a scorer, and we need a scorer. We need defense, though. Honestly, we need
every game
we need a
with Indiana
shit ton of
Pacers was
defense.
up to 130 points.
Yeah.
120.
You always.
But also
here's a pro tip. You always take the over on the points for the Pacers. Whoever the Pacers are playing, always take the over because the team they're playing is always going to score over that amount. Pro tip from Mikey.
Wait, hey, you know what? I got a little topic here. Now that
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now that we're on the NBA, the past 10 years, what team do you think overall would be better than the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, Curry, and Thompson?
I've got an idea. Well, so
10 years. I'll give you 2. I'll add a year.
If nobody had been traded, or if
correct.
Okay.
Straight up from 2010.
Easy. The Thunder back in 2010, they had Harden.
Sacramento Kings with Jason Williams.
We need Kim's point of view on this. Kim, come back here. Come on,
If
Kim.
they had not been traded,
we need
it would
Kim's
be
opinion.
the 2010, 2011 Thunder when they had Westbrook, Durant, and Harden. My God, I mean, can you not beat that?
I mean, you can.
No.
I'll let John answer next.
Wait. What am I
Since
answering?
2010, what team do you think is better? Because I strongly believe that KD, Curry, and Thompson were that Golden State team was the best.
You told me that they weren't traded.
The best ever?
Because I have
We're the best team.
I had the Thunder team with KD, Harden.
No,
and
that's a
Westbrook.
great pick.
Wait. That was a good potential pick.
No,
exactly.
Again, Harden wasn't quite
wasn't there.
Harden.
And
yet.
Westbrook wasn't
true.
himself.
That's true.
And all three of them were not themselves yet.
Right.
But the funny thing is, I watched the Pacers. I went to the Pacers game with all three of them there, and back then it was like, and we won, by the way. I mean, nowadays it would be like one of those games you have to go to.
Because you can also say on that, I saw a Pistons game where they played the Lakers when they had Karl Malone, Gary Payton,
back in the late 90s.
Kobe Bryant and Shaq O'Neal.
Oh, God.
And honestly, Gary Payton and Karl Malone were garbage back in those days. So you can say all that with potential, but who the fuck cares? If you want to know what are people
That's
at
the best
that time?
team in history.
What is the best team during that period of time? And that's a harder.
No, I mean, that's the best team in history. Is KD, Curry, and Thompson with that Golden State.
Yeah, I would say
that is by far the best team
in the past 10 years. I don't think anyone would argue.
There is no one.
I don't think
Jordan's teams can't beat them.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know about Jordan's.
Who do they have in the middle? JaVale McGee? I mean, seriously. You don't think?
And Draymond Green.
You don't think Jordan's team?
Not close.
Him, Pippen, Rodman.
Not close.
Rodman would beat the fuck out of
because
Jordan.
Lakers,
bench.
Showtime Lakers.
Rodman would beat the
Magic Johnson.
You know who they would have on the bench when Jordan gets tired, when Pippen gets tired. Here comes Iguodala.
Jordan played 44 minutes a game. So
here comes Irvington. I mean, you're
Irvington.
not.
Who the fuck's Irvington?
He was like 6'11", dude.
I don't even know who Irvington you're talking. Who the fuck are you talking about? Are you making up names?
No.
Man, Dalton's drunk.
Dalton's very drunk.
No.
He's like, you put Irvington on the floor. I'm like, who the fuck is
On the floor. On the floor.
Who the fuck is
But
Irvington?
even the starters, if you think about it, like legit, you think Jordan? Okay, who's Jordan gonna guard?
Who's Jordan going to guard?
Curry.
And Curry.
Okay.
And Curry,
Who's gonna guard KD?
Or-
Who's gonna guard Klay Thompson?
Rodman.
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 Wait,
Pippen.
what about
Pippen
what about
can shut
Thompson?
him down.
He scored. He has the
Pippen,
highest.
Okay.
Rodman. There you
Pippen
go.
and Rodman
There's
would
your
be a
three.
great matchup.
Yeah.
I strongly believe they'll win by at least 15.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't see. I mean, the Warriors.
Think about it.
The Warriors 5, 6, 7 years ago were unstoppable.
Iguodala, Draymond
But,
Green, which he's not a threat.
you really
scoring.
you really
but he's a great defensive player.
No, Rodman was much better than.
I mean, he was a great rebounder.
Well,
He played
I
harder.
think it's just different skills. Like in today's game, Golden State's great.
You would have Steve Kerr. I'll give you that, Steve Kerr.
Yeah, I Steve Kerr was a fucking 3-point shooter. He didn't do anything.
That's all Curry
besides.
is. But no one's going to slow Curry down.
Bullshit.
I think Curry would burn Jordan.
You think Curry could drive to the hole like Curry can? I mean, do you think he could?
Do I think what? That Curry can drive to the hole better than...
Curry.
Do I think Curry could drive better
No,
than
I said Kerr. I said, do you think Kerr could drive the hole?
No, not one bit.
Then
Curry is
then
an
what's your-
all-star.
Then what's your argument?
My argument, and like I'll state again, that Golden State with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green was the best team to ever play NBA.
So I guess my point is that Bulls team, especially the second three-peat Bulls team, is that.
Sorry, Dalton just farted. And he threw it right in my face.
Good
So
catch.
I guess my point is that yes, Golden State was an elite offensive team, but I thought that the second three-peat Bulls team with
Yes.
Rodman was
Yes.
an elite defensive team, and I think they could have done the completely switchable team that I think would have been theoretically Golden State's downfall. But they had no one who could completely switch to all their players.
You don't think Golden State would come out and switch against the Bulls by double teaming Jordan, stopping Pittman
Who's gonna double team
with
Jordan on
KD?
that? I mean,
Thompson. Have you not realized
so-
Thompson's an A plus defensive player?
So you double team Jordan, right?
Not
I
Jordan.
would put Thompson on Jordan.
But then you still have Pippen wide open because
Again, you
Oh,
need-
wide open. You say KD's not good at defense.
you
KD would
need-
shut Pippen down.
See, I don't know about A plus. As you're saying, A plus defender and Klay Thompson. A plus defender is someone like Bruce Bowen.
Jordan would average 18. I think Jordan would average 16, 18 points against Golden State.
seriously.
Okay,
Are you
well,
are you fucking
I-
serious?
Yeah. 'cause-
Okay, I
mean,
guess
you
that
guys are going
illuminates my
Jordan-
opinion of where Dalton's coming from because he's only 26 years old. But
Thank you.
but Jordan-
Exactly.
Jordan's great, but me being 26, you realize the teams he actually played against, they weren't scorers. Jordan's East was very, very easy compared to the East now.
Okay, so
That's fair.
Let me say this.
He agrees. John
No.
John being there, being a number one super fan was there.
Well, no, my point is that we don't know, and just because we don't know something doesn't mean it's not true.
It's like the LeBron versus Jordan argument. We'll never know who was better, and if LeBron would have played back in the early '90s, if he would have had as much success as he has now, it's really just it's a talking point for most sports guys, in the media, and we'll never fucking know.
Well,
I mean,
who do you think would win 1-on-1 versus LeBron versus Jordan?
This is-
One-on-one.
it's exactly what I'm saying.
Who cares?
We will never know.
6'8", 250 versus 6'6", 210 pounds.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters.
But I
LeBron,
mean, in that
LeBron.
team, you would have Rodman probably
No,
playing
no,
against.
not team.
He's talking one-on-one.
Does it matter?
It doesn't fucking.
Is
it does
that
not
really
matter.
how we're measuring players?
You
Is
can
like
tell by the haters that actually watch Jordan their prime, which I get. I totally get.
so.
But LeBron is
Oh, wait, hold on.
6'8", 250 pounds.
So that's saying that, like, okay, the
So he's-
larger person will always beat
so
the smaller
he's
person.
slower,
so
right?
okay.
LeBron is very athletic.
That means he's slower than Jordan.
He's athletic. I mean, there you go. There's a good
and then
point.
and then also you're
Could be.
discounting the will to win that certainly Michael Jordan
LeBron
has
does not have.
way more than LeBron.
does not have.
Yes.
Which was shown, by the way.
You just said it. You just said
No, I'm
it.
saying one-on-one, but like the will to win, you were definitely shown that in the Lakers loss versus the Suns, which honestly, that lost every single respect to LeBron after losing to the Suns because he was walking back multiple times against the Suns on defense when his team needed him. I don't care how selfish you
hold
are.
on.
I don't care how much of a billionaire you are. I think Kobe and Jordan would never give up on their team.
Wasn't LeBron Defensive Player of the Year a few times?
I actually don't think. I don't think he was.
I think he was.
I don't think he was, unless he was with the Cavaliers in 2004, 5, 6.
Anyways, so okay, we need to get off the NBA because what we're here for, we are here to listen to you guys. We're an hour fucking in already. God damn it! It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna be a long night. So, anyways, what we're here for is to hear you two talk about your views on whatever it is, COVID, Fauci, Biden, whatever you guys want to talk about. Why don't we start with John and see? Let's talk about. Okay, let's talk about. I know we talked about it the other night. Let's talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, what we can talk about.
Hey, I just want to say, like, today I went into Target without a mask and it was amazing.
Isn't it glorious?
It is great. I just want to say, like, I hope we keep this up. I hope we get out of this mess because, for the record, this last year has been a nightmare. And I do not want us to continue to do this thing of masks, social distancing, not allowing us to go to things that I love, like sporting events and things like that, that I am so happy. It seems like we're going in the direction of getting out of this and going away from this situation, this hell that we've been in for the last year. I'm hoping we're completely done. You don't like the Sol Chelada? It's fine. If you don't want I will drink it.
I'm not. No, it's actually here. I will give you the rest of it.
Okay.
It's just a Bloody Mary, and I love it. Don't get me wrong,
It's
but I
fine.
can't
If you
drink
don't
a
like it,
whole
you don't like
tall
it.
boy of it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm not a big tomato. I've never been a big tomato guy.
Okay.
I'm not.
But
either.
besides ketchup, but I mean, obviously ketchup throws their sugar and stuff that makes you diabetes. Makes that stuff possible, and I'm good for Heinz.
Well,
Good for ketchup.
John's a diabetes scientist. So
I am.
What do you think about all the sugar and ketchup?
In Chelada?
No, in ketchup.
Oh, in ketchup? I actually don't like ketchup.
You like-
on my hot dogs, I like mustard. I'm a big
You're a
mustard
total
guy.
northern guy.
I like brown mustard on my hot dogs. That's it.
I like
Nothing
brown mu-
more, nothing less.
Did you just say
maybe,
brown?
Maybe some, maybe some onions, and that's about it. That's all I like in my hot dog.
You're from the north.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right. He was talking about.
the north.
He was talking about COVID, and he's so happy that we don't have to. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear masks anymore. You're not vaccinated, correct?
I won't get vaccinated.
Why will you not get vaccinated?
Because it's an emergency FDA approved vaccination. It's not actual FDA
I feel like
approved.
John's got a lot to say about this.
I mean, he as he should. That's his field, but that's
It's not his field, though.
It's actually not my field.
Oh,
Yeah.
John's field.
we got a different topic.
Listen, hold on,
That's
hold on.
fine.
Hold on. John's field is diabetes, but he's a
Yes.
scientist, and he's a very smart scientist. Dalton, you're wearing a Golden Girls tank top right now.
And whose fault's that? Whose fault's that? You made me look good. You made me look good,
It's
and
actually-
now I don't look good.
It's actually my Golden Girls tank top. But anyways, John, what do you have to say to someone that says he's not going to get the
Hey,
vaccine?
if that's your choice, I applaud it,
The
and
death
I
rate is the
I
highest percentage is
Okay, let's go.
vaccination.
okay.
You
I
guys
I
are-
don't.
I'm
So
out of this
wait. So I just want to. Can you explain that point a little bit more? Like what's
So even when the flu vaccination came out, which don't get me wrong, they came out towards the earlier, I would say 1900s, when, you were about, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Not that old,
All right. Okay.
But anyways, when that came out, it still has racked up the most deaths in vaccination because the FDA approved that it's for emergency cause.
So
Which,
wait.
honestly,
I just want to make sure.
I understand that point.
I just want to make sure what you were coming from. The highest death rate from a vaccine. Like, what are you referring to? So, are you referring to the reported consequences of people who took the vaccines eventually? Like, where is that data coming from?
100% from the consequences. Not consequences, from actual proof.
Oh,
By the way,
wait.
it took me 45 minutes to look this up to actually see the death rate when it comes to vaccination. Why would it take me 45 minutes to actually Google to search the percentage when it comes to COVID vaccinations? The
Because you're
percentage.
retarded.
Because I was
Okay, wait. Where's your sources? Because there are a lot of there is a lot of fake news out there.
Well, it's
There is.
Johnson & Johnson actually caused it, but you know what?
It did, but that's like 1 in a million. You're talking about 1 in a million versus COVID 1 out of 100.
It's an emergency vaccination to make people feel more comfortable. But then Dr. Fauci, the one that actually proved the CDC to come through to make this vaccine as fast as they can. By the way, it only took 3/4 of a year for them to come up with one single vaccine. But they can't, for some reason, hit me this. So for some reason, when you have COVID that hit, the world as strong as it did, don't get me wrong, it came to control of the global population, and they came up with a vaccine to the point where you're off work, 1 to 2 days when you get this vaccine put into you, that it came to them creating some sort that the ingredients, I would say ingredients,
You're
to
making
the
no
point
sense.
of this vaccine
You're making no sense.
came out that would make sense to put into your body. Now I don't believe. I don't believe they're putting. By the way, I don't believe they're putting chips in your body. I'm strongly against that. But I believe that they came out with this vaccine so quickly to put the minds of the American / global population that they feel comfortable around other people. But I think it was forced so quick that by the FDA, didn't approve the first time this came out, but it was an emergency vaccine. It came out and it created more deaths than any vaccine in history.
Did it though?
Okay,
It
wait.
did. When it first came out.
I'm familiar with what your statistics are, and all I would do is I would be a bit skeptical if I were you. But you know what? Your opinions are all your own, and you're entitled to those opinions as they are. But my issue is that that particular statistic I think that you're referencing to is the fact that people are dying in between the first and the second shot, because lots of people are dying at the time of the implementation of the first shot.
But I am 100%. I agree with that because
It does take a few.
Yes.
No,
And it does.
No,
You're
it
not
takes a few
completely
weeks.
protected after the first shot.
No,
You aren't.
I agree. I agree what you just said. Is because a lot of these people that are getting vaccinated, they're scared. They create a media scare, right? It did. It forced people in their homes, right? So they're getting a media scare, but yet they're getting the vaccine that thinks that they'll save them. That where they can go to Walmart without a mask, they can go to Kroger without a mask. But the thing is that they're trying to bypass mentally that they might be allergic to some of these symptoms that created by the vaccine. It's not the vaccine's fault. That's just them being ignorant, I believe, and that's what. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you on that point.
But I guess my
that's
issue
where
is
most
that
of the deaths come from because they're ignorant because they want to live the life, but yet they can't because they might be allergic to some of the stuff they put into the vaccine. Am I correct?
No. The issue is that, at least, again, I am not an expert in this area, but my understanding is that people, yes, after the first shot, they assume that they're completely vaccinated, which your antibodies
That was
produced
the point.
by the first
Let me
shot is
stop.
not nearly as high as they are at the second
that
shot,
was
which
the
is
point.
why people at the second shot are extremely sick and they're out of
Let me
work.
stop.
Typically after the second shot.
was my point.
Even after
Yeah.
even after the second shot, it still takes a few weeks for everything to.
Correct. It takes a while for your antibodies produced, and I've heard people making the comment of, oh, well, I've had COVID, so why am I getting a vaccine to get immunity? Well, according to the data out there, the amount of antibodies produced against the spike protein for the COVID virus is considerably higher for the vaccine versus your innate immunity.
It's a virus, right? We deal with this every year with the flu. Am I right?
Yeah, and that's why you have a flu vaccine. That's why you have a flu vaccine.
That's why the flu vaccine is
Yes.
100% foolproof.
Well, there's a difference between
Right?
the COVID.
But what's the-
no.
the
There's a
thing you're
difference
gonna
between a
throw at me was
COVID
the
versus
flu last
no.
year.
It's a completely different virus is the problem. So just because you have a vaccine to the flu doesn't mean you have immunity to COVID. They're completely different things.
No. You're correct, but
Yes.
you're also wrong because
No.
How's he wrong?
they're both different viruses.
Yes.
No one ever has full immunity over the flu.
Yes, correct. But the flu.
Oh, wait,
but-
the flu's been around for over 100 years.
Yes, but flu mutates so much quicker than coronaviruses do. The coronaviruses, at least they estimate. Now, again, maybe we'll have to get a coronavirus vaccine every year to be protected. Maybe, but they've estimated that
So
it
it's just
mutates.
like the flu, but last year the flu was cut off.
Whoa, wait.
He and I talked about this in the last podcast.
This
so
is,
we'll say
but
that.
yes, everyone. Okay, so if everyone wants to social distance and wear masks, we can completely eradicate the flu. Does everyone want to do that? We can do that.
Can you agree the masks were just to keep control and comfortability?
No,
of
because
No.
the viral particles that release from a person are
Do you
much
think a
less
mask-
when
do
you have a
think
mask.
Do you really fully believe a mask is going to trapped
Well-
all the symptoms of COVID?
No.
Well,
COVID?
no.
they do not.
It prevents if you are contagious with COVID, it prevents the viral particles from getting from your mouth to the next person you're talking to. Because you know what, this is how this disease spreads. It doesn't spread through the atmosphere. It spreads through two people talking
Correct.
together for approximately 5 to 10 minutes continuously. That's how it spreads.
No,
so
fully correct, but a mask
Yes.
is not going to stop
it
that spread.
may not spread it completely.
It makes you
depending
more
on
comfortable
it
when
depends
you're out in
on
public.
it depends on the variant
Because
of
the government could not shut down.
well, no, it depends on the
fully.
COVID variant that you're dealing with. Some are more contagious than others, so
Just
it
like
just
the flu.
depends.
It's just a virus.
It's a virus, yes,
It's
absolutely,
just a virus. And
yes,
with
yes,
a
it
virus,
is.
what's-
Yes,
honestly, though, what sucks about a virus is that you fight it off until the point your body can't, and that belongs with COVID.
Yes, but
belongs with the flu.
but
it
that's
doesn't
also-
matter what virus it is, but it doesn't. It literally does not matter. It's a virus.
but
Your body
that's the
can't
problem.
Fight it off for the rest of its life.
But that's the problem with the virus, and that's the problem with the flu. That's a problem with the coronavirus, is that 1 out of 100 people don't have the immunity in order to fight it off sufficiently, so they die. So is it worth of us just going back to our daily lives in order
Yes.
to protect 1 out of 100 people rather than to let the 99 out of 100 people just do whatever they want? I agree it's worth protecting that 1 out of 100 people, but you can have the opinion that you think it's better to not let the 99 out of 100 people have their lives disrupted. That's fine.
When it comes down to it, I agree 100% that all businesses should open, but it should be up to all businesses to correspond with their regulations with COVID. I mean, if they request you to wear a mask or be vaccinated to come back to work, I believe with them. I'm 50-50 with it.
I agree with you.
At
I
the
don't-
same time, if you put people into a house for a full year and then expect the other 50% don't have the option to work from home, maybe that's why you're starting to see house prices go up so much, and you also see lumber, because lumber didn't stop production. Lumber controls lumber.
No,
And
that's not necessarily
the
truth. They've had a beetle.
A few people that work in the lumber field that have not stopped creating, lumber. You can say for housing for any point.
But there's
it doesn't matter to the end of the point. But they have created, the lumber mills have created enough wood, to continue production, but they were meant to stop, and now they control that. That's what it comes to.
Hey, maybe that's the case, but at least
But
according to the
that's
news,
that's not all what I think about COVID.
but accordingly, okay, but okay, you can say these businesses are lying, and maybe they are, but in northern Canada, where a lot of the lumber is produced that's used throughout the United States, a beetle, due to climate change, which you probably, I don't know your views on climate change, but that they have led to this beetle becoming more active, that has chewed up a lot of the lumber in that area, that has reduced the amount of lumber available in this country to produce new homes, has led to housing prices to go up. Now, obviously, that's not the only factor,
right,
but that's
correct.
been apparently a
But I
really
have saw
big
that,
factor.
but it
In that.
honestly is a big
Now,
factor.
also, in addition to that, is the lumber industry using this to their advantage? Maybe. But you would imagine that they would want a lot of work if they could do it. And it seems like there is some other issue that's... Now, again, I'm not in the industry. I don't know if there's conspiracy in this. There may be. I don't know.
I'm down with it, though. I love conspiracy.
But my issue is that as you're going back to the COVID issues, is that I know people. Obviously, it's anecdotal evidence, but that there's some people who have worn masks in homes in which people have gotten COVID and they have never tested positive. People who wore masks as soon as they found out one person tested positive. So I think these things work. I don't think it's a matter of control. I think it's a matter of just physics, that this travels through viral particles released from your mouth as you're talking to someone. And if you prevent that with a mask, all of a sudden you prevent transmission. That's a good thing. In addition,
I fully. That's just. When it comes to that common sense, but every virus we've ever had in human history, it spreads.
Yeah, it does. It spreads.
But at the same time, you got to live your life.
But this becomes a question,
This isn't the plague. This is legit
It
another virus that was created by the Wuhan.
But this becomes another issue, just
And
like
it
with
was
our
proven- it
podcast
was
from.
proven real.
But from our podcast with Michael, is that, well, these decisions are really tough. Is just because. Go ahead. Is that these things, because they happen in a rather limited population of people, should we not protect those people? I don't know. These are things that we should talk about as a society. Is like, do we do things to protect and make things easiest for the vast majority, or we do things to protect very rare things from happening? Like, for example, people having a child that has mental disabilities or some kind of malady. No, but these are tough decisions to make.
You're very. I'm not saying you're wrong. Everything you say is kind of stated to any virus that we've ever dealt with, to the point every political aspect.
But this virus tends to hit a lot more people than the flu. But you're talking about 1 in 100 versus 1 in 1,000. That's a big difference.
That's not true.
The
flu is more than 1 in 100.
No. It kills and puts people in the hospital more like it's like 0.1% versus 1 to 3%, at least what I've seen with COVID. So and at least the people that I know that have had COVID explain that it's anecdotal. It's anecdotal, but at least from the people.
Personal views of COVID, in which but neither, by the way, are wrong. I'm not discrediting COVID being a real.
But I've heard it's like a super difficult, a super unhappy
I mean, hey,
flu experience.
Have you ever had a frown on your? Have you ever had a smile on yourself when you've had the flu? Have you ever been pumped up?
Flu is miserable. Flu is a miserable experience. But from what I've heard, is like
I mean,
the flu is miserable.
It's a virus, but
it is.
It was already proven created, and that's where I come from.
Wait. It's created. Do you think that it was actually planned and created by someone?
100%.
Okay.
But also, I can't disagree with them because even when it comes to different countries, different cultures, I can't disagree with them being a bad thing because it sucks. It sucks bad. I guess is the word I'll choose when it comes to that. But why wouldn't you not? Even Bill Gates, by the way, that is now, by the way, which is some now new neuroscientist that is coming through and buying all this land in the U.S. and now thinking that he's smart enough to dictate what we should or should not do. And then you have Warren Buffett that owns the trains, by the way, that is now working by producing and supplying our gasoline. If you want to go that way, if you want to go that route, that's the whole conspiracy. But when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine or the COVID-19 period, is that it was 100% created in a lab. It was already been proven by Dr. Fauci. If you follow him, that he's already kind of just, I don't agree fully with the emails. I mean, obviously, like, their emails, like, he already knew the mask absolutely did nothing besides make more people comfortable. He's already proven that. But when it comes to actual COVID-19, that's a whole different virus, and I do believe that was created. I don't think that was just sprung out of some Chinese man eating a bat. Don't get me wrong, bats edible, by the way, folks. I really truly don't believe that this whole thing started from some Chinese guy thought a bat looked good and he devoured that bat and then it created a disease. I mean, he might get diseases, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this was strategy. I mean, if you look at it, if you strongly look at it, we are entering the age of overpopulation, over agriculture. I mean, it's to the point where we will not be able to live on this earth with the production we are doing. And honestly, since COVID-19, the statistics has said that we have cut, and I will say production, bad term of words, production of and production of actually having kids, reproduction.
Yes,
we have cut the reproduction because if you come, and that's the one thing that Bill Gates has ever said in his life, besides Xbox 360, it's going to be the best thing ever. It wasn't. We all know that. But go Halo. But the reproduction, it's real. I mean, it's absolutely, for sure, real. We are going to run out of resources when it comes down to, and if you think about it, COVID-19, it's all perfect. It is legit all perfect as it all came out.
So if you're talking to someone who has views on overpopulation of the planet, you are preaching to the choir, because I think that that's seriously a problem in this world, let alone the country, is that we need to have a better grasp of all of that. However, some of the things that you did state, I have a little bit of a problem with. One of the things you mentioned are conspicuously some of the left-leaning, very rich people in this country.
I didn't say left.
You didn't say left, but you stated a lot of people with left-leaning politics were a problem within the world.
Why does
and
left,
I wonder why those are. I think that's more of an issue
I agreed with it. I agree with common sense.
I did not.
Smart man.
I did not. I do not lionize these people. I don't think that any rich people who get to where they are, I don't think that they necessarily get to their place in the world just because of their own intellect and their own
that's
hard work themselves.
That's a whole different
However,
case.
my issue is
I don't know why
that
you bring the left into this.
no.
I think this is a human problem.
My point is that there are there's a poisoning fake news in our society that
So
tends
do you
to
agree
point
with
against
Donald Trump when he called out on these news, and that's, by the way, he called out Fox Media. And that's a Republican view.
I have an issue with I think there is a lot of fake news in this country. I disagree at the source of that fake news. That's my issue. Is I think some sources are advertised as being unbiased that are not unbiased. So that's my issue in this country. Is I think there's a lot of things that are made to make people look bad that isn't necessarily from an unbiased source. That's all. That's all. So that's my issue is when you cite people that are you have not listed people with a right-leaning bias as being a problem. And I don't think people with a right-leaning bias don't have bias. I think rich people as a whole have a bias.
I think you're agreeing with what's going on.
Okay.
I think personally, it doesn't matter if you're right or left. Obviously, the left has made a lot of media headway to prove that, one, you know what? I will attack the president.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
I think.
Hey, I just want to say, for the role, I don't think that he is perfect, and I don't think that he doesn't have his faults himself.
I think he is 100% indifferent to the point where he should not be a leader. I think if the Democrats came up, and don't get me wrong.
But one question I would have for you, Dalton.
The way you just described your last statement, I would say, is completely left and completely believing in some sort of the media, and I think that is what honestly they want, because if you look at if you actually look in detail, which I have, if you look in actual detail, the last stimulus, a lot of that stimulus went to uncharitized companies. By the way, if you run a nonprofit and you get revenue, that revenue is majorly 100% your revenue. That is dictated by the Democrats, and it's never been in the stimulus. But guess what? It was in the stimulus, and it was paid by President Biden to create their fund. And I think strongly that the reason a lot of people and a lot of media was against Trump is because he was against that. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. President Trump is well off. President Trump is not categorized by, I'm here for money, I'm here for untaxation, because, he has his faults. And I agree with that. But with what we have right now is terrible. Right now, Trump really wanted what was better for the country, and it describes how the gas prices has risen, how they cut the Keystone pipeline, and don't get me wrong, everyone's like, well, as a Republican thing to think, but it's really not, because guess who owns the railroad? If you think about it, guess who owns the railroad? It's Warren Buffett. And he disclosed anything that he is, I'm not 100% not funding Biden. I'm not 100% funding Biden. But guess where our gas comes from? The railroad, semis, and that's what Trump cut off. So if you really are 100% against climate change, why would you think that that's the right move? Because that Keystone pipeline wasn't a crater created in the earth to move that oil. Rather than, they specifically knew that they were feeding into the environment around, which means they were giving They were seeding grass. They were seeding trees. So to me, and to my extent, when it comes to all of this, that mean we can bicker about COVID. We can bicker about how it settled down with vaccines. Obviously, the vaccine's not FDA fully approved. It was emergency approved, which is EPA. You can read all about it if you would like. Don't get me wrong. If a company tells you straight up that they need you to have the COVID vaccine to work here, or they'll give you a bonus to work here, that is fully true. And the company should do that because
that's great.
Make other people comfortable.
I just want to say that's great that you have that opinion, because that was something that we talked about in the last podcast, is that private businesses should be able to do whatever they want. And if it helps their business by having a staff that's fully vaccinated, they should do what's in their best interest. We don't care. Like, I don't personally care. I guess after like some of those things you said, my issue is that.
What's your issue?
My issue is that you labeled a lot of left-leaning rich people and didn't mention a lot of right-leaning rich people, which I think some of these issues that you're mentioning are probably just due to the fact that they're rich and they make things that.
Which, by the way, Biden has funded.
Okay, and one thing I'd like to know from Dalton, where do you get your information? Like, where's your news?
That's what
I'd like to know. I would really like to know.
Honestly, it's not from CNN.
Right, it's
Fox.
It's from a crazy right wing.
But no, realistically, it's because it's. I mean, you could say USA News, but it's truly not. It's honestly reading the views. I'm on social media a lot, like anyone else. And
but
I'm on social media a lot, and I read upon it, and then I look it up, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy when you try to look something up that may not be a righteous move, like a right view, and you try to look that up on Google. Don't get me wrong. If you look at anything on the left, it's right there in front of you. It makes all sense. But if you try to look something up right, like something that contradict what the left is saying, it takes you almost an hour to find some source, some crazy source to say we don't agree with that, and it's kind of controlled.
Yes,
That's our point.
No, it's legit. It's kind of controlled. So I mean, you take that as is, but it's like you try to prove or try to look up information about what's going on. It took me an hour and a half to find the percentage of COVID vaccines deaths, to the point where I was like, I almost gave up. And I think, like if I was a conspiracy theorist, that I believe that like that's kind of what they would want, because it's kind of crazy. Obviously, they all know what we look up. I mean, I can look up a girl that on Amazon that is full sex machine for 100 bones, and that would take me 3 seconds to find out on Google, and it's like, all right, well, maybe I'll gander in that. But then if you actually look up something that's realistic, it's like it takes you multiple sites, and those sites aren't even proven true because they have a lot of pop-ups, and it's kind of nuts. And like, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. I think that's the biggest fault, is that the government legitly will possibly hide information that you're kind of concerning about. And they know what you're looking up. I mean, how many people out there have looked something on Amazon, and next thing you know, they're on Facebook, and it's the first thing that pops up? Isn't that kind of
it's
nuts?
Really, I completely agree with you. You know what? It is completely nuts. But the issue that I have... Yeah. But the issue that I have is that you're saying because it's completely nuts, because it's so hard to find a piece of information that you're looking for, doesn't mean it's necessarily true. And I guess my problem is that we're dealing with the fact that there are bots from people in other countries that are producing pieces of information that are not true. So how do you make sure that something is not true? How do you make sure that you can trust your source? And the answer is, it's really freaking hard.
Yeah,
is that there's a lot of untruth untruthful things on the internet. Just like there are pieces of things that you can purchase on the internet that aren't real. That are people that are trying to get your credit card, that are trying to steal your credit card number and do that, just like they're trying to feed information to you that is absolutely not true. And how do you sort through what is true versus not true? And you know what? It is freaking hard. And you know what? It shouldn't be that hard in this country in order to know what's a trusted versus an untrusted source. And what is untrusted versus... We're all feel like we don't know where we're coming from. And this makes the whole exercise really difficult.
Well, it's like you and I talked about the other night about, maybe possibly Russia's putting these...
They are. Russia is putting
fake
stuff
news
out to destabilize us.
Yeah.
No, it is. And I see Dalton laughing at us, but it is true.
Hey, it's the first time John and I have actually agreed upon something.
Yeah.
No, but other countries are putting things out on the internet to destabilize us. So you know what? It's in our best interest to make sure that we're as stable and as true as possible. And if that's, learning some unhappy facts about our government, that's great. But my issue is that there's also a lot of things that are completely fake news, as I was stating, from the right wing as well as on the left wing that are just aimed at making our country less stable.
But on a real note, let's focus on making America great.
We have.
I agree that I want to make America great.
I want to make
we have
great.
Both sides fighting against each other. We have falsified news from both parties. I mean, come on, guys. Let's use our common sense, and I feel like that hasn't been used in at least 2 years. Let's tackle the situation. Let's move on from the situation because we all know what's going on across the seas. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, we're not dummies. We know what's going on. But on a real note, should I take Donovan Mitchell over 30.5 or under 30.5? I mean, that's the biggest topic right now. It's going overseas, and I'm so curious.
I mean, Mitchell has been going off lately. So, all right, Dr. Fauci. Well, let's start. I want you guys to go off again. Dr. Fauci. Obviously, I feel like you think he's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. You think totally opposite.
I think he's a guy who's in a tough position.
But if you see
as you're dealing with a president who is trying to push hydroxychloroquine as being the absolute cure for this epidemic,
I do have to say that was
telling people that they're going to get an antibody treatment that costs $30,000 per person it's tough in dealing with that. Whether he has completely pure motives, I don't know, because honestly, with every experience I've had with extremely wealthy people, they're very interested in their own best interest, not necessarily the best interest of the country. But I hope his heart is in the right place. But I don't know. I don't know the guy.
Stop. I do have to say the hydroxychloroquine. So that by Trump, what he said that he was being sarcastic when he said that.
Was he?
No.
He was.
He said it how many times? He talked about how hydroxychloroquine was going to be the cure of this epidemic.
Why the fuck would you inject bleach?
Doctor?
No. The bleach thing, he did not. He is not a scientist. He's a businessman.
Fauci was funded on multiple sources.
But just because
to come out and tell the media.
Hey.
And tell
wait.
Which the media is technically us. How to live our lives, but in multiple emails, and this is only emails that I will bring up. Is that 100% the face masks do not work? Even if you wear 14 that he suggested, by the way, it's a joke. I'm just saying right now, Dr. Fauci got paid off.
Oh,
And
wait.
Hold on.
100% proven that he got paid off.
Oh, okay.
And then
Wait.
we'll
Let's
Slow
explain
down.
this.
Slow down. Slow down.
Let me explain
First off,
how
hold
science
on.
works.
Let me go. Let me go. First off, when I watched Fauci throw the first pitch out for the Washington, what are they? The Senators now?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot.
Nationals.
Sorry, I'm thinking of hockey.
Yeah.
For some reason, which I hate hockey, which we talked about earlier. But when you throw the first pitch for the Nationals and threw it 45 feet away from the catcher, I can't trust a guy that can't throw a ball 90 feet. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Okay, that's fine. But have you seen Donald Trump do that? Because he's been invited to do that, and he has declined. Because I'm sure he can't throw a ball either.
Well, because
none of these guys can. They're like 60, 70 years old. They can't do shit.
He's smart enough to not embarrass himself.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that's fine.
I will say, when my grandpa was 70, we would play catch in the yard all the time. He never threw it 40 fucking feet away from me.
But also, I mean, you look at Dr. Fauci. I'm sorry. I would trust him in his expertise in the clinic. But like, would you want him on your softball team? No,
I mean,
you wouldn't.
No, I mean it was a joke. I'm not serious about that. But it was a funny YouTube clip that I had to bring up.
Oh, it was terrible. But there are all kinds of other terrible clips. There was also people like singing the seventh inning stretch, the take me out to the ball game that are just awful.
Remember when we were at the Indians game and that I don't even know who her name was because I don't want to call her out. We were at the Indians game and that girl sang the national anthem and it was the guy who was a guy, right? The guy, he didn't even sing the right words to it. The words were on the big screen, and he couldn't even say the right words.
So I just wanted to go back to something that Dalton said because being a scientist, I kind of know a little bit of how the sausage. So being a scientist, I kind of know how the sausage is made, and yeah, you know what?
You pervert.
That's fine.
You pervert.
Well, the thing is, though, unfortunately, whether you work for a university or a research institute or other things, no one pays your salary, no one funds your lab. You're depending on funding from outside sources. So if you're talking about funding from the NIH, you're talking about
by your funding.
Well, that's a different story. You apply for funding. You're not controlled by your funding. No, that's not how it works. They don't tell you what you can do. You apply for it, just like a government contract from a business of like trying to do a different doing some project. You apply for something and then you do it. And so, yes, you get funding from outside places because your job will not fund your salary.
I feel like Dee thinks you are involved in the whole conspiracy.
Fine. You could say I'm involved in the conspiracy. That's fine. But that's how the system is set up, is that you apply for certain pieces of funding, and then that pays your salary as well as it funds your lab. So that's just how the sausage is made.
Do you tell your interns that they have to turn their hair purple or blue before they can apply?
Absolutely not. There are no right wing, left wing, and actually, I think it actually benefits us a little bit better of being in a right wing area versus a left wing area because there is a certain view to there's a view to like try to distribute funding accordingly so it's evenly distributed throughout the whole country. So it's not just going to, let's say, left-leaning areas like California,
I think this whole government issue has been brought way past the point of no return.
But the other issue that you're talking about is that
live life as fullest as you can.
Okay, I would like you
in real life. It's there's actual events going on past the USA of you can say segregation, you can say war against pride. It really does not matter.
But
There's
also
actual
Dalton,
wars
I would
going
like you
on.
to name one university that's in an area that's not left leaning.
Oh, it's hard. No,
It's really hard.
It's hard because
It's really hard.
because they're funded by the left wing, which makes sense. Is
Well,
why they think left wing issue.
No. They're fighting by right wing as well. Yeah.
True. It's 100% true because it's every 4 years this is brought up, and every 4 years this is the first 4 years. I apologize, folks, that there's a stimulus that actually pays for you.
Now we're getting the stimulus.
Success.
So no, it doesn't. The stimulus does not pay for my
But
success.
do I think
No.
fully the last president was against everything? Hell no. I think the last president was actually making strides to make us more patriotic. But you could pinpoint to me to like, okay, that fact that doesn't matter.
So
Because we're learning our own science, we're learning our own algebra, we're learning our own algorithm towards things. But on a realistic note, it's like I really believe that the leftists, and these days leftists, it's not all time. I'm not going to agree with that. These days leftists want every single close to vote that they can get, and they will fund it to any extent that they can, or broadcast media. But I don't think fully government should do that. I think if you are right, or you are left, or you are middle, or you are curved, it doesn't matter. I fully believe that opinion's yours, and I think these days it's brought to broad light on what you should be. But on fully, I think it's your own mind. I agree with the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. If you vote left or you vote right, that's your own opinion and that's your own doing. It shouldn't change your neighbor. And these days it is, and I strongly, fully believe that it should never be that way.
Hey, and I just want to say for the record, like, I do believe that our country has gotten stronger and better and more progressive over time, and that makes me happy and proud to be an American. I just want to say for the record. However, my issue is that there are some parts of our country that are pushing us, it feels like, to go backwards rather than forwards. So on that note, I just want to know, like, what's your view on critical race theory?
I think race is brought up every 4 years.
Okay.
And I think that's more the leftist.
Okay.
And which, don't get me wrong, I have spoken to more of the quotations, Black Lives Matter quotations, majority white, by the way, that I have actually asked. And they think there should be a change to this country towards that nature. But every time I ask a proven factual figure towards that nature, it's kind of crazy how they think they just want it left done, and they've already been proven that it's been done. Racial actually not being a big factor, and I don't think it should ever be brought into any political view. I strongly believe that every single race is equal and every life matters. And don't get me wrong, if you ever say that my life doesn't matter, I will have a conversation for you, or your life doesn't matter. There's a different conversation. Like, obviously, like, every life matters on this earth. And if you say that you believe all the propaganda that's going on to the point where, you know, I'm gonna vote a different political view, that political view is obviously telling you that they just want your votes, and they will, for one, never do anything about it. For two, by the way, Trump donated, I think it was, $5.8 billion towards the black communities and their small towns. Maybe smaller. I'm
Not
sorry.
sure about that one.
Maybe smaller. No, he did.
I don't know.
He contributed. I'll Google
Well,
it. I'm sorry.
okay,
I'm sorry, folks. I don't know actual analytics towards it. But Trump
Purchasing being slumlords of certain areas doesn't mean contributing to
Trump actually was
inner city areas.
donating much of his success.
Oh, there's no way that was happening.
No, 100%.
But that's fine.
100% it was. Downtown Chicago, especially.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was a slumlord in those places. That doesn't mean he's contributing in the community.
But the biggest fact, it does not matter because Trump maybe was doing something. And 100% was doing something. But that's only 4 years.
Okay, I guess my point is
Biden
that what you were.
has done
Yeah,
nothing.
but what
Biden
you're.
has nothing but collected money. And by the way, his stimulus bill majority went to his government officials. So if you try to fight that, look up your facts before you even come close.
So where are your facts coming from? That's what I'd like to know. Is like, where do you get that information that all that money in the stimulus package was going to his officials? Like, where are you getting your information? I have not seen that. No, I just want to know.
Have you read?
I have not read the bill.
Well,
no.
If you
I would just like to know where you were getting your information. That's all. Where did you get that information? That's all. I admit I have not read that. Yeah.
If you read the actual.
Have you read it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So what parts are going to his officials of like how much of the funding of the stimulus package?
75%.
75% you're saying are going to his officials. Okay. Okay.
75% are going towards, I would say 50% of that 75% are going to non-charitable organizations, and then 25% is going towards.
Yes, so I wouldn't doubt that some bit are going towards people, the places that are helping. Well, yes, because unfortunately the right wing doesn't want to help people as much as the left wing, and that becomes a part of our.
That's propaganda. That's by the person, and that's what also is beating.
Wait. Can you explain that a bit more? Like,
yes, I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
The mindset of the leftists that are nonstop helping people, and I'm just going off of the last plan that President Biden has portrayed against us. Right wing and left wing. It does not matter. The right wing has helped us in the last 4 years, but it doesn't mean the last 8 years to the point where it actually helped us. But if you actually look at it, there's no change. There's not much change besides this year. The last 4 years, his last plan has funded more uncharitable companies than any other plan in history has ever funded.
Wait. Uncharitable company. So what do you define by an uncharitable country? Okay. So what do you define as an uncharitable contribution?
Where the fuck were you guys at? I left for 5 minutes. I don't even know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
He started throwing bananas at me, dude. I don't know what's going on. He was like, "Hey, eat more calcium." I'm like, "Hey, you settle down, man. All right, we're tackling it one day at a time."
I guess my point is that coming from the scientist perspective is that this is how your job works, is that you guys have your jobs funded by whatever your company is that's making money off you guys. But in our circumstance, we're funded by whatever other entity decides to fund our research. So we're required to find our own sponsors.
Hold on. I love how John acts like he's just his company. They're so broke. I've seen your fucking house in Carmel. Don't fucking lie to me. Don't fucking lie to me.
No, I'm not saying I'm paid insufficiently. I'm paid fine, but I'm required.
But it's all about the donations.
But I'm required to find my.
He's trying to tell you what you need to hear.
But I'm required to find my own sponsors that will fund my research And it's not about...
Apparently your sponsor's paying you just fine because I've been in your house.
Yes,
And it's fucking
I'm
amazing.
paid just fine. I'm fine. But
Is it B-dubs?
what I'm saying is that we all are funded by different organizations
Bill
as scientists, and just because we're funded by different places doesn't mean that they're telling us what to say and what to think. And actually what they're actually doing is just funding our research to make sure that our particular thing that we're working on is funded in their best interests.
I mean, I understand that, but I mean, I think Dalton's still a little hazy about how nonprofits work, and he thinks everyone.
That's how nonprofits work.
I know
other.
exactly how nonprofits.
But that's like saying like Bill Gates, who has his, and I know
by
you
the way,
have
he
your
should
opinions
never,
about Bill
ever,
Gates.
Ever put
But-
something scientifically out in his mind.
Hey, you know what? And his connections to Jeffrey Epstein
wait,
is a
wait,
complete like
Are we going to Epstein?
scary.
Are you saying
But-
Epstein had a
but-
good business?
But
Are we going
my point is that
going to Epstein right now?
Bill Gates had some objectives that I think were for the greater good of the world.
Yeah, where they turn
However,
yeah, that's great.
that's a good one, but also making sure everyone is protected from malaria and AIDS. Those are good objectives for his organization. But just because, let's say, the Koch brothers contributed to his organization doesn't mean that he's in depth to doing whatever the Koch brothers want. It means that they were able. They thought that objective was worth contributing to, and they funded. And that's how a charity works. It doesn't work towards they tell you exactly what to do. Is that
They just throw you money.
they like your objective and they like the thing that you're doing and they're supporting it.
All right. Anyways, so we're talking about Epstein, which is one conspiracy theory we've been talking about. But I don't. Do you want to get too in deep? I mean, Epstein's a very deep.
I think
It's a very deep conspiracy. Do you want to go?
Let's detour towards UFOs. Government
Oh,
made
man.
them official.
I mean, they did. Was that? Did you? Okay. So did either of you think?
I have a story right now.
Did either of you think that was coming, or did you think were you like, holy shit, they actually said something about it?
100% coming.
Oh yeah, and I have relatives that swear
No.
swear that they've seen UFOs in their life.
That's not
Whether
my
they
point.
actually saw UFOs, I don't know.
That's not my point. My point was, I mean, we all think there are UFOs out there, but were you surprised that the government actually came out and said, yes, there are?
Well, all they said-
not one bit, because they can use. I mean, I think the government, in due time, every pilot kind of said that they have a
Not every pilot.
So wait,
undivided
let's.
UFO coming out, and that's like not just flying for the Navy. That's flying out from.
No,
you know,
I get
So
that.
let's
Probably my package is late.
let's go into the definition of what a UFO is. It's an unidentified flying
Doesn't-
object.
It's a saucer.
It is not an.
It doesn't mean
It
aliens.
is not an alien.
It does not mean aliens.
I think there's an equal probability.
It does not
of-
mean aliens, though.
Exactly. It could be something from another country or
Spain.
a
Spain.
government program
Spain.
that
Stop talking shit
maybe
on my
the
culture.
pilots in the Air Force and the Navy weren't aware of. It means something unidentified that they cannot explain.
Are you saying China's on the alert? for
Maybe
Taiwan?
they are. What if they are?
Did you guys ever watch the Joe Rogan where he had the guy that worked at Area 51?
I can give you the whole story right here, boss.
Go ahead. Well, I'm saying
Actually, I have a story.
No.
on him.
I'm talking about Joe Rogan where
No, I know Lazarus.
Bob
Lazarus.
something like that. But so he worked at Area 51 for a
It
while.
wasn't Area 51.
Well, it wasn't technically Area 51. It was what was it called?
Area 4, I think.
Nah, it was.
By the way, the government has different areas other than 51.
Right.
But anyways, what he said, that he was a scientist that got involved.
Oh
He
shit!
got-
Hold up! We got Barn in the house. Barn just walked in.
Dude, you gotta turn your mic down. It's way loud.
No, it's fine. Barn, say what's up.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? And the one lady that might be listening.
There we go.
Maybe
Mike, you gotta
two.
turn your
Jeez,
mic
man.
down
No,
and
well-
turn Dalton's up.
Hey, we anyways, about that situation, he pretty much said that he came out and worked in that hangar and, was redeemed that spot. He was told little about his job. He had to figure out, and his job was to figure out a ball that was creating anti-gravity, which obviously we all know that anti-gravity or gravity obviously is created by the Earth, is Earth's axis, and the magnitude. There's no form on this Earth that we know of that can create its own gravity.
The crazy thing was
and his job was to figure out what this ball, this sphere, how it created. How to create his own gravity, and that is impossible.
It wasn't necessarily his job, but like he looked at this.
That was his job in Area
He
4.
looked at this. It wasn't even a sphere. What was the? I forget what the shape of it was.
No, it was a sphere.
It was
a sphere. Yeah.
A sphere. But anyways, he looked at this. He was like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how this happened. But the funniest thing about the story was he took a bunch of his friends out to Area 51, whatever you want, Area 4, whatever he was at. He took a bunch of his friends out one night. This sounds like something we would do. He took a bunch of his friends out one night, and they went drinking, and they went over to the area. He's like, they're gonna do some test flights, or there's gonna be other shit. They're gonna do test flights of the UFOs over here tonight. It's gonna be crazy. So they go out there, start drinking beers.
God knew like on Tinder.
And they saw them. Well, I don't care about that. But and then the fucking they're not cops. What are they? They had like green lights shining on them, like the cops were gonna shoot them. They're not cops. Maybe they're some kind of military.
Bottom line of the story was that he was there, brought on with some other guy.
They let him go because
of that. my issue.
We're working on a gravitable device that we can't create our own gravity, but this device is creating its own gravity, and they tried multiple times to break open the sphere, which was a sphere. Anyways, he has a long story on Joe Rogan. You alright, buddy? Yeah, I'm alright, man. You hurt my knee. I gotta stretch her out. Anyways, he was working on the sphere. He couldn't in his mind create it, and then the other guy he was working with got fired. During his time there,
he got fired too, right?
Area 4. The garage was never open, as he stated. Obviously, it's probably bigger. It's probably like a shop or something. He stated that while he was there, the garage doors were always closed, but one day they were open, and it showed multiple saucers, up to 6 of them.
Didn't he try?
He got into one.
Didn't he touch one of them? And they said, "Back off! Don't touch this."
He was granted one that he was working on that device.
So my issue with all these things,
it was all white. There was no control panels.
Let John talk. Seriously.
And
it's
the
fine.
only thing he knew at all inside that saucer was the doorway.
Dawn, you were such a fucking mic.
But
Jesus Christ!
I'll let John.
I got John and Barn here. Neither one of them can talk yet.
So I guess
Barn, what do you think about the UFO release?
I guess my point with all this is that I'm just skeptical, because it always seems to be either drunk or high people that are out in the middle of nowhere that see these things. And why isn't happening towards people that are more dense populations?
The video is always fuzzy.
Why is it? Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I guess it could be Democrats attacked him, sure. But what could be another explanation is that, like, technology fails.
It does.
There's weird things that can happen. There are glitches that I think are a much more likely explanation for it.
Barn, what do you think about the recent government saying that UFOs are real?
Oh, without a doubt, they're absolutely real.
I mean, do you think that? I mean, I think most people. I think probably 90% of people think they're real, but what is Area 51? Do we actually have aliens in Area 51?
Well, I don't know, man. I would imagine they're so advanced that they just don't bother fucking with us. It's like when you go by an anthill, do you mess with that anthill or do you destroy it? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. They're so if there is a species that's beyond us, I mean, they're so far beyond us that they don't give a shit about us
Right.
to mess with us. Or
No,
fuck with us.
I totally understand that.
Why are they dealing with people out in the low population density areas? Like, why are they observing people out in the boonies, in farms, and farmland?
They want to gamble in Vegas, man. It's close to Vegas.
I don't
Maybe because
understand.
of light pollution.
Like,
That could be true.
like what makes a whole lot more sense to me is that wouldn't you want to test certain capabilities,
Like New
by
York,
the
if you're
military
going to go to New York,
and
LA,
things
and
like
like,
that. Yeah,
like
you
how-
would want to test those things out in the middle of nowhere.
What the fuck is
so
with
it makes
Roswell?
more sense.
Why do they all land in Roswell? I'm trying to figure that out.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
That was a
They go on-
flying actual saucer that actually was caught, and it was 3. I believe it was 3. They quotation said humanoids were caught in that, but one of them went to
Fuck are
Brazil. And
humanoids?
2 of them were kept here in Nevada. But the thing with Roswell is that don't talk about Roswell, but when you see cow cacerations by a laser, that was 100% non-alien effect. Even if you believe it, I mean, go for it. But that's all over Joe Rogan. That majority of those cow castrations they see in the middle of nowhere.
Are you gonna
that
believe
they have
everything Joe
lasers
Rogan
on
says?
their-
I
on their
think-
organs. That is fully the government. I mean, that's fully someone that has no place to UFOs.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much faith I would put in Joe Rogan as a great source of information. But for the record, yes, I do believe that there are probably aliens out there someplace. However, the UFO sightings are just a bit skeptical for my mind that it's probably other things. What it could be, it may be a hybrid of those explanations, that it may be the U.S. government taking in alien technology and testing it out in these low population density areas, in the farm areas, etc.
That's the thing.
That's why you have
Maybe
Roswell.
Stop.
Maybe that's it.
Because I think Area 51 was originally a naval testing site for something, and so hold on. I want to reverse back to what we were talking about earlier. Because
I have a question.
Hold on, stop, shut up.
I have one question.
Stop.
Who?
We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it later.
Okay, I'll ask all 3 of you guys. Now that
We will get back.
3 and my boy. We have 3 and the boy.
We'll get back to it
I
later.
ask a real question. What's one place in the whole wide world that humans, civilians, are not allowed at? I'll let you guys 3 answer it.
Well, obviously we all know the answer, so we're not going to talk about it. So I wanted to.
Antarctica. Why are we allowed in Antarctica?
We are allowed in Antarctica.
No, we're not.
We have how many,
Government
how many
will not
scientists
allow
are there
you-
right
no,
now?
Government will no.
There are scientists
no,
there right
no,
now, though.
They're scientists, but civilians. I said.
There's
Okay.
Nazi scientists there.
There you
Oh,
go.
Barn,
That's what it is.
you're the prototypical Nazi though.
It's a Nazi
But anyways,
stronghold.
they're planning their next takeover. So I saw we were talking about COVID earlier. You actually got your second shot yesterday, correct?
Yep.
How are you feeling today?
Fine now. But
How'd you
Fine.
feel?
Fine now.
Wait,
I entered
how did
the
you feel after
sweaty-
the first shot?
Fine.
Oh,
I did too. I did
okay.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did too. After the second shot, you were
were
there.
down
You
all
were
day
there that
almost.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
So
second though, I entered the sweaty pits of hell.
yeah.
Okay.
No,
I was
I did
sleeping.
too. I did too.
So that typically happens to people, is that it's either the first shot or the second shot.
Right.
Is that you go through hell.
But that means
And-
your immune system is working, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's your
that
adaptive-
means that you're
adaptive
producing
immune system.
antibodies, and the amount of antibodies that you produce against the spike protein for the vaccine is nowhere near comparable as what you do versus the normal virus.
So Dalton,
So that's why the
Dalton
vaccine-
believes the vaccine is bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't fully believe that.
Does he fully believe that?
It was
Well,
fully.
You were arguing with him for.
Backed
Well, the other-
up by the FDA. The FDA
That was
made
my
an
trouble.
emergency
The other.
vaccine, and that's what the vaccine is.
Well, the other thing is that
But-
what do you define as bullshit?
on this thing.
That it doesn't work?
So I'm trying to.
I don't know.
The
I
bull-
just want
The
to
bull-
know.
the
What do you
bullshit's
think?
Not true. The vaccine
Yeah.
is going to help in some way or shape or other.
Jesus Christ.
But you have to understand what's actually in any vaccine you take, and that's what the flu is with COVID.
Okay.
Because it will kill you if you do not understand what the actual quantity of something or other ingredient, I would say, in that vaccine But do I believe the vaccine is fully
do you believe
safe? I do not.
So what?
Exactly.
So you think all vaccines are deadly?
No,
If you're talking
not
about
one
flu-
bit.
the flu
I
vaccine.
believe the FDA obviously came with I'll say obviously the flu, because that's modern day what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I believe that somehow, in some way, some shape or form, that 2020 the flu has damn near disappeared. That we don't understand. That's also because the hospitals have been funded by federal governments.
Well, they are, but indirectly.
If any death or if any form that was tackled by any virus was declared as COVID, that's why you see the low numbers of flu, is because they get funded by the federal government. And if you say that's not true, that's very, 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 very true. But also, if we're talking about vaccines, I don't think the vaccine's bullshit. I think, realistically, if you're trying to save yourself and you're trying to make yourself feel more comfortable, I think you should get it. I think if your work requires it, you get it. But all in all, it's your body. I don't think the federal government should tell you to do anything.
Absolutely not. We are in total lockstep if we think that I do not think the government should require, especially something that's not FDA approved, from everyone.
It's emergency
However,
approved.
yes,
There's a
it
difference.
should not be
difference.
required. However, I think it's every right of any business to require that.
Which I said.
That's a different story.
Which I said.
And however, some of the issue that you mentioned is like some of the issues with vaccines as a whole. Yeah, they're not perfect. There are different things that preserve their ability to work that inherently are potentially damaging to the wrong person that may have an allergy to that. That's
Which I
a
believe-
possibility.
and it's
But
true.
it's rare. It's very rare. You're talking
It's
about,
true.
again,
There's-
1 in a
there's
million
been a-
versus
been
1 in 100.
There's
It's
been a few people, I'll say few, obviously, that have died from the vaccine because they have not told their doctor the truth about what they're allergic from. But in fully, they don't understand what's fully in the COVID vaccine, and it's an emergency relief, is what it is. But
and it hasn't been fully tested. It hasn't been fully tested.
And once again, I'll say again that the business has fully 100%. They will dictate on what you should do or not do if you work for that company.
But
And
also,
I'm not disagreeing with that. But do I disagree with the federal government telling you ever to get a vaccine before you can travel or anything? I am 100% against that 100% because it's an emergency relief. It's not FDA approved. So you guys function how you do what you want. Everyone has their own beliefs, but that's my belief is that you should wait until the FDA approves an actual vaccine. By the way, they have yet to fully function or agree on a vaccine. This vaccine has killed the most people in the first year out of percentage than any other vaccine ever came out. And it's been in a hurry, which I understand. But at the same point, you guys do you. And by the way, the Suns will lose in Game 3 against
that data you're citing is that people died after taking the vaccine. There is no evidence that those people died due to the actual vaccine. They just died from probably insufficient protection from the virus itself. So that's my interpretation of the data.
I think I clarified that.
So that's fine, but people died.
The vaccine
Now,
not thinking what they're allergic from.
And
by the way, if you actually think or you come clear to what's all in that COVID vaccine, and you can riddle my mind because there's a lot of those things that are out and that we make no sense of.
There's a lot of that stuff like formaldehyde and different things in the vaccine that are certainly not necessarily the most safe at a certain level, but at the certain level that they're included in the vaccine, other vaccines are safe. So why should we think that this particular vaccine is deadly based on the presence of those types of things?
Johnson has to cancel the first vaccine.
Again, you're talking about 1 in a million. 1 in a million is a whole hell of a lot better than 1 in 100, which is you going to a hospital due to the actual virus, which is approximately 1 in 100 people. That's a whole hell of a lot better.
So you're saying...
And then the other thing is, it only seems to be women. Yeah, I don't wear a mask. I went to Target today. I didn't wear a mask. I'm fine.
Most franchises have you require a mask.
You know what? That's their business prerogative to help their business. And if they require that, I will do that.
We all have fell under the little spell of COVID. It's real. I'll never deny that it's real. Do I believe the vaccine is your full proof plan of, if I get that vaccine, I'll never get it? That's false. We've all got the vaccination of the flu. Obviously, that creates different strands. But this is different. This is way different. But never feel like you should get this vaccine under the FDA. And they even say that even the CDC, they both declare this, that it was nothing but emergency funded, emergency planned. They do not approve this, so you do you. Dude. If you don't vote for the Steelers from the Super Bowl, then I don't know what you're voting.
But see, this is the thing: just because it's emergency approved doesn't mean that it's not effective. Doesn't mean it's dangerous. It just means that it needs to be further tested. So that's fine.
Which means it's either dangerous or it's dangerous.
No. It just means it has been insufficiently tested. That's all. That's all it means, is that it's insufficiently tested. Now, however, if you look at like the COVID numbers, okay, fine. But if you look at the COVID numbers up until this point, they dropped dramatically as soon as people started to get vaccinated from the hospitals. The vaccine rate, ever since the vaccine rate has started, fine. But since vaccine rate has... wait. That means... But there are a lot of people that died in between the first and the second vaccine shot, which I think should be off the table. Okay. And so what you're talking about is if you could look at people dying within the last few months until we've gotten to approximately 50% of the population that's been vaccinated, it seems like it's working. Now, can we say that it definitively has absolutely been working? That's a different story. Yeah, and the data out there that
it's the righteous way to go.
Fine. If you don't personally want to do that, that is up to you.
However, you're implying that it may be the correct.
Oh my God! Stop, Dalton. Shut the fuck up. You two need to stop. We were at almost 2 hours, and I cannot listen to this anymore.
Go Steelers, baby!
Stop.
Steelers, baby! Go blue!
Anyways.
Steelers, baby!
Oh my God.
Blue Steelers?
What the fuck are the Blue Steelers? All right. Anyways, so we need to wrap this up because we've gone almost an hour over our time limit. So it was everything I wanted.
Peace and love, y'all.
It was a great debate.
Science.
There's Barn. What's Jesse say? Science, bitch.
Cut it out, Dave Coulier.
No, that's Dave Coulier. It's Full House. But great podcast. Thank you both for joining. Actually, thank you all three for joining. We had John. We had John. We had Colin. We had Dalton, who's been gone for like fucking 5 weeks, and we finally found him. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and have a good night, everybody, and take care.